No, not yet. But he could beat Wanda.
Oh,
He'll
I
destroy
can't wait for
Wanda.
that. Huh?
He'll destroy Wanda.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't see WandaVision. You didn't see
I
WandaVision.
haven't seen WandaVision, but here's the thing about Wanda. Here's why Wanda will get bodied by Ant Man. Because as powerful as Wanda is, um, all her powers are still based on things she perceives. So I mean, at the end of the day, you can still sneak up on Wanda and kill her in her sleep. She won't. She can't see Ant Man because she can't see into the subatomic universe. So I mean, he shrinks down, enters into her nostril, places grenades in her head, and then boom, done. I mean, you can do that to pretty much anyone. There's no way you could. You'd have to be a cosmic being or be someone that's not composed of anything that is, relatable to physics. Your physiology has to be like maybe you're made out of energy or something. Like that's the only way. And even then, he can time travel through the quantum realm. Like, how are you really gonna stop him? You can't do anything to Ant Man. You really can't. Like, bro, even if you could win, he'll go back in time and find a way to like beat you. Like, he's a walker plot hole, bro. You can't even say, oh well, he's a normal human. I'll just age him out because there's no time.
I
There's no
can't
time in
say
the quantum
anything
zone.
because you haven't seen WandaVision. I can't say anything. Yeah, he doesn't. You don't know. You. I can't say anything. He hasn't seen.
I haven't seen Loki, but I do already know about the time variance authority. But they didn't do shit about all the bullshit that was popping off prior to Loki. The only thing they give a fuck about with Loki is the fact that he used the goddamn powers fucking stone to escape. Okay, all right. Because I was about to say, everybody that was doing it, Loki the only one that got hit with it.
I used to believe. I used to say like Wanda was fucking whack. Like I used to say that shit. I would have died on that hill till I saw WandaVision, and I'm like, this is some bullshit. Some, huh?
Yeah, yeah. She ripped Thanos' armor off. Like, yeah, for sure. She's about to come. But I'm saying Ant Man could have killed Thanos from the very beginning.
Like Doctor Strange is afraid of her.
Ant Man could have ended the whole movie by simply just shrinking, getting closer, shrinking, get onto Thanos, apply one of the portable, those portable shrinking things he has, where he can throw it on something and it shrinks it. He could legitimately have just gone onto the gauntlet, shrink the gauntlet down, and go into the cosmic into the fucking the microverse with the fucking Infinity Stones, and Thanos would have been able to do jack shit about it because you can't follow him into it.
Oh
Oh, go up Thanos'
yeah,
ass,
it just expands.
go up Thanos' ass. But yeah, legit, like it make her body the whole thing. For real. Yeah. In the comics, this nigga created fucking Ultron by himself. In the movies, it took Bruce Banner and Tony to do it. In the comics, Hank did it by himself. Yeah, he's actually one of the most. He's the highest. He's like, I mean, other than if we're talking about like molecular physics, he's the person to go to. Of course, Reed Richards is smarter than everybody. Valerie Richards is smarter than everybody, or Valeria rather, and then we got Doom that's smarter than everybody. But like, as smart as those three people are, and they usually like are the top three smartest people in the Marvel universe. Hank Pym is the only person with a molecule named after him. So if he wants to shrink down and go into the fucking, and go subatomic, like there's nothing you can do about it. He could shrink you and leave you there, and then you can't come back. So if he wanted to get rid of something, he could put it there. If he wanted to disappear, he could go there. Time flows differently. He doesn't have to worry about aging if he goes there. So it's legitimately like a cheesy little way for him to kind of go there and do prep time shit if he wanted to. They shit on Hank Pym like all the time. They have it where like he's always in his own way. He's so busy like trying to live up to the rest of the heroes he's around to be like looked at as like being like on par with the rest of the Avengers. He doesn't realize he doesn't actually need any of them. That he's better than them all. And then of course they had the fact that he got so jealous that he put his hands on fucking his wife and slapped his wife. So after that, his whole
And then of course they had the fact that
yeah, no one like after that his whole character is destroyed after that. But legitimately, if you just look at it from a logical standpoint, like if you were Hank Pym in the comics, you'd be a god.
after that his whole character is destroyed.
No one could do anything to you.
But legitimately,
Galactus should be scared of him. He's literally like a poor man's molecule, man. If you think about it, because he could control the molecular like value of everything and anything. If he wanted to, he could go to another planet, shrink down the entire ocean, put it in like a little bag, then show up on the planet that's like a desert and expand it back into an ocean again and completely terraform the entire planet. I mean, he could do anything he wants to, and anything, anything. Mad shit, mad shit.
we are talking about
And Batman,
Batman.
Ant Man,
Oh, and
Hank Pym,
we are talking about. Got it. Yeah,
Batman. He's OP, OP, OP. I was saying about how that he could get a adamantium bullet, right? It can go into space, and if there was a planet that was causing problems for people, he could be like, "All right, I'm gonna destroy your whole world if you don't stop fucking around with us." Because all I have to
Hey,
do
you
is
mentioned
throw this, yeah, just throw the
but
bullet and
I
then
don't get it
expand
though.
it in space.
If you enlarge something like that,
Mhm.
wouldn't it like I never understood Ant-Man's power. Like how can you expand something?
Well,
If
see, the
you
thing about
enlarge
MS
something
Power with the expansion half of it is
because when you
due
expand
to
something, it breaks apart usually.
right. So with the expansion, especially when he does it to himself physically, like if he's in a space where there's gravity, the molecular structure of his bones isn't dense enough to withstand the force of gravity pulling on the new mass that he's gained. So it's like calcium is still calcium, whether you make calcium the size of a building or whether you make calcium the size of a human, it still has the same durability. So the larger you make it, the more gravity has a hold on it, which means it's heavier. And so the calcium can't withstand it and then it just collapses on itself. But with adamantium, the structure, the molecular structure of adamantium, the molecules are so bonded they're indestructible. So since adamantium is indestructible, it doesn't matter what size you make adamantium, it'll never break. So if you had an adamantium bullet, he could go and expand it to the size of a fucking meteorite and throw it at, and throw it at a planet. He's in space. It's weightless. So it's not like it's going to stop. And what are you going to do when an adamantium meteor crash into your planet? Your planet is destroyed. Like your planet is made out of regular dust. It's an adamantium fucking comet the size of like New York. Your entire planet is gone. It's like there's someone shot a fucking gun right at your planet. You could destroy your worlds if you wanted to. He's fucking broken. But he's just, and there's no way he's, as a genius, he wouldn't be thinking of this. If I could think of it and I'm not a goddamn genius, he's smart enough to create Ultron by himself. Come on now. He could have been fucking doing that type of shit. They just downplay it because, what kind of story would they tell if Ant Man could just.
Right. If you make him too strong, then
Yeah.
he could just like carry the whole team.
Mm-hmm. Instead, they just have him talking to ants. What a nerf, bro. It's like it's in the complete opposite direction.
They gave that shit to Captain Marvel. They didn't do shit that entire movie, bro. That made me so mad. I remember he went on like the directors went on. They were like, "Oh well, Captain Marvel is one of the strongest." No, she fucking not. They're like, "Oh, she's the strongest person in the MCU." How?
Don't worry. Shit. Don't worry. The mutants are coming to MCU, so I can't wait for Rogue to show up and steal Captain Marvel's powers. Oh, I cannot wait for that shit to happen, son. I cannot wait for that shit to happen, son.
But the thing is, though, that they never even in the X-Men.
I cannot wait for that shit to happen, son.
They never introduced Rogue. It's like they always kept her out.
They did. In X-Men movies, she was like a teenage. In the first X-Men movie, she was like a teen, and she was like trying to date Iceman, Bobby Drake.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. They introduced her. She's like a teen, but like normal Rogue is a grown ass woman when she joins the X-Men.
Right. They were gonna have one. I remember they did like a little cameo with like Gambit, and then they never like even did nothing with Gambit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think it was like one of the the Deadpool movie, not the one with Reynolds, the stupid Deadpool with Wolverine.
Yeah,
the one that he couldn't even talk. I think they showed like at the end of that movie, unless that's not canon. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's part of like the X-Men universe, and since that's being transferred over, I don't even know. It's part of like the X-Men because Marvel's doing alternate universes, so they really can do with X-Men whatever the fuck they feel like. Because Marvel is doing alternate universes. So but they weren't gonna pay Jason Tatum all that money to play Gambit.
Yeah, like a standalone movie, with Cage there,
Mm-hmm.
Not with all these motherfucking like superpowers, just like him, Louisiana, like he has that grit. He's a badass. I like him,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this guy is like such a freaking what's that word? Masochist. Always in love with freaking Rogue, even though like it ain't gonna work, man. It's gonna freaking absorb your entire freaking soul, man. But he likes, he likes a challenge.
No.
Yeah, he was a cool character, though. I mean, representing French. He was like French descent, right?
Yeah. New Orleans, so
Yeah.
She's speaking that Creole.
That Creole, yeah.
Mon ami.
Mon ami. Oui, mon ami. Oui, oui.
Mon chéri.
Mon chéri. You recording yet, Lewis, or no? You recording yet, Lewis, or no?
Trying to fix my mic. My mic's working.
You recording yet, Lewis, or no?
Trying to fix my mic. Oh, there it goes.
You recording yet, Lewis, or no?
Trying to fix my mic. Oh, there it goes. All right.
You recording yet, Lewis, or no?
All right. So last thing we left off on was the party has traveled. Into Carceri, where you are met with a reddish tint to the landscape, finding yourself standing on very wet, boggy ground, surrounded by stunted trees and wetlands around you, with mountains nearby, very high, craggy mountains. Above you, you can see the orb in the reddish skies. You can see the orb to the next orb in this infinite string of pearls of worlds that Carceri is made of. Insects and mosquitoes buzzing around. Smell of hopelessness and rotten stenches and
Weren't we gonna bring like a cold creature with us?
vegetation. Bring a what?
Yeah, I think so. We're supposed to bring like
We were gonna gate
a mammoth. Wasn't it like a giant like mammoth that we are gonna bring?
a mammoth. I don't know. Wasn't it a celestial or some shit?
What the hell?
I can't remember. I thought it was some sort of like frost mammoth that, or maybe I'm bugging. Maybe that wasn't something that you guys spoke about during the last fight of what you could summon, because I remember we were dealing with the
No, I'm not talking about summon. I'm talking about like the actual gate spell. That Claudius, I think he could like gate something up to like 40 something like hit dice, some shit. Oh, we're not doing that. He got like one spell component for it. I think it was like 10K. And we have resources like wealth to basically like negotiate with someone, like a mercenary to come help us out.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were gonna use like Cynthia's contact or Nidrama's contact to see who they suggest. Willing to fight the good fight, no hands bar. Because normally Celestials they're basically binded by that non-interfering rule. However,
Yeah.
if a mortal, it's like a loophole. If a mortal summons you, technically you could break the rules because you're basically complying with the laws. What the mortal is basically.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that stuff for climatic type shit. I don't know. I mean, if we're not gonna do it, it's fine. I don't want to railroad like Lewis's campaign and shit. If he wasn't anticipating that, we'll just keep going like the way we are.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but we did talk about this stuff like at the end of last chapter. I think like during downtime, we just forgot about it.
I don't remember hearing it. I probably wasn't.
You don't remember hearing it?
No.
You're the one that calculated and said that, Claudius, if you were to summon Gate, you could summon something more powerful than
yeah, well, yeah, that was a while ago. I remember that conversation. I don't remember it being. I don't remember talking about it last session.
No, not last session because I totally forgot. I forgot about this. Not my character. Pichardo did.
I'm like, what?
We haven't played like what? Like consistently for like how long? like
a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then even before then, like the last arc ended like quite a while ago. Like the last chapter. Not with the epic level creature. I'm talking about last chapter. It's been a while. A few months.
Mm.
And then we took hiatus for a few months. And then we started playing like a month ago. You gotta keep track of all that.
Hiatus after hiatus, man. Fuck.
I know, hiatus after hiatus. It's like, man.
Hiatus. All right. Well, you're on the You're on you're on the layer of the
I
planet
think at one point we were
Carceri.
even saying we might summon Tusk or some shit.
I
For
I
remember
know we
real.
had
that
the
shit.
discussion. I know we had the discussion. Like,
I remember the no, I
maybe
remember the
Tusk,
discussion.
maybe Tusk will show up
It was
in
like
like 10
Yo,
years.
that would be godlike.
it was like 2-3 months ago.
Yes, me, I know it was a long time ago. I know that we spent the whole night talking about this shit, all of us.
Mhm.
We were like, yo, what if Cynthia comes upon a tomb with Tusk Orbrick, let's summon Tusk. I'm sorry, let's continue, Luz. Forget it. I ain't do shit.
So yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're on the layer of Carceri, some distance away from the location of the Bastion of the Last Hope. And you don't exactly know how far because the plane shift can take you anywhere between whatever, 500 miles away.
Mm.
Here you are, and you know it's somewhere, but you don't know where, which way, how far.
500 miles is mad long.
Between 5 to 500. You could be 5 miles away from the place. You could
Okay. 500 miles. Shit. I have an understanding of that now since I drive so much.
Yeah,
Like 300 miles is like a fucking 5 hour drive. And
that's a
that's,
lot.
mm-hmm.
be.
And
And
so you
that's
figure,
driving.
and
That's
that's
like
driving. That's going
that's not
consistently,
walk. That's not walking on horseback.
right? Consistently putting at least up 60 miles and miles per
Yeah.
hour in 5 hours to do 300 miles. So you figure 500 miles, bro? Damn. Mad
Yeah.
far. Shit. 500 miles is like, that's like 2 states.
Yeah, that shit would take like several months marching.
Wow.
To get there. Like back in the days when you're marching like an army 1,000 miles away, that shit would take like 3-4 months to get
Mm-hmm.
there. Gotta have a supply train, supply wagons, all that shit. Railway.
That's why they were called campaigns. So this should take forever.
Yo, I know.
This is what
I
we
don't
call
know.
road trips.
I don't know how earlier humans life must have been miserable. Hey, let's go just fight. This shit is too boring. I don't want to be working in the farm from 4 in the morning to like 10 at night. Let's just go fight. Rape people
Mhm.
left and right. Like, the fuck, let's take whatever we want. I ain't not living this hard life. Get the spoils. The victor gets the spoils, and if not, I'll die from his miserable existence. People dying by the 30 was old age. If you got 35, you're an elder.
For real. You're like, you're blessed by the gods. You
Back
didn't
then it
die.
was different. See, only in that time in early human history could you could get away with a 13, 14-year-old getting married makes sense because the lifespan of a human was like 20, 30 tops.
Yeah.
Now it's different. Now you're 25 years old, you're still a kid.
For real. Back then, you make it to 20, you're like middle age.
Hell yeah, you're 20, you're middle age. I've seen ancient humans like picture like let's say like the medieval times.
Yeah, they had
Like
a
people
very
that were like 17, they look like they were like 30.
they
Like
had
this
to
is
get together
hard life.
young too because hey, there was no concept of being a teenager back then.
Yeah.
Right?
Humans
Especially way
weren't that
back then.
humans weren't that tall either. Humans weren't that tall either.
It was
Like
Yeah.
let's say like
it was you were a kid while you had somewhat of a childhood. The other half was work. And then when you got old, when you were like what 10, 8, 9, or 10, boom,
oh you're working.
boom,
Mm-hmm.
You're working.
you're into a fucking trade.
Yup.
You're either learning from the blacksmith
You're
or you're
working.
learning from the baker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't until like the early 20th century where they put like child labor law in the US United States pretty much. Because
But then you got to think about it
Yeah,
too.
because it was getting
when you
crazy.
were sick, a lot of kids lost their arms in these factories because
For
they had
real,
small
because I'm
arms.
picturing,
So they
I'm
could
sitting
with
here
the skin.
like I'm picturing both my sons. I'm like, man, if they got forced to a coal mine right now, they would not be alive.
Yeah, man. Or in a factory.
Yep.
Even young.
But you got to think about it too. Back then, even though the laborers were crazy and everyone was forced into labor and everyone was forced into trades earlier, as a result, people developed skills that were
Oh yeah.
like still to this day aren't like replicated. Like they built, look at they built the pyramids, they built any of the nine wonders of the world you could look at, and all those were built in like ancient times. Look at fucking the Colosseum in Rome. They
And
took forever to build that. Generations died trying to build that thing.
yeah, the aqueducts too. That's like ancient plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
Like from one like lakes outside of the city.
Oh yeah.
Bringing in
They had more
sewer system. I'm like,
ingenuity
what?
back then.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Now we're dumb.
They'd be disappointed in us right now. They'd be like, "Damn, yo, fucking lazy and unambitious as fuck."
Yeah, man.
hell
They
yeah.
want here's a phone. Here, watch some Netflix. They want to
Mm-hmm.
keep us all
They'd be like,
silent.
"Y'all are
Here's some
weak."
video games.
For real. They'll
No,
be
don't
like,
play.
I lived and died trying to build a Sistine Chapel. And like it took my family like 6 generations to get that shit built. And y'all motherfuckers can't even get up and go to work on time. Like,
They
damn.
would, they'll be like, "Wait, hold on. You guys have the medical science to get rid of the plagues and diseases we had to deal
And
with,
y'all from
and you won't take it? Are you fucking kidding me? Give us
But
tell
what's in that vaccine, Lewis? Hold on. But what's in it? Okay. All right.
yo, if we were like,
There's some
yo,
microchip in it,
if we
man.
went back in Europe was like, we got a cure for the fucking Black Plague. There ain't nobody questioning that shit.
Bro,
But true, but here's the thing though.
so many people.
Here's one thing that I do have that's an objective to that
They'll
whole train
all
of
take
thought.
that shit.
The one thing is this: the government or any sort of government institution back then was a lot more trustworthy.
Were
They
they?
were, yeah. I mean, they weren't like perfect, but
Well,
they they
most
didn't
people were peon serfs back then.
right.
They
You know
had
what
to
I'm
take
saying?
them at
But
face value. You didn't really have
They
a
okay.
lot of
I
them.
wouldn't
they
say
didn't
they
really
were
have peon
trustworthy.
back
They
A
then.
were
lot of
just
them
more
were
transparent.
well. A lot of them were illiterate, so it's not like they could read anything. And then, I mean, the only news source they had was like the town crier. Maybe a traveling minstrel here or there. Like,
all I'm saying is that if the government didn't show us repeated examples of the fact that they can't be trusted and that they definitely
yeah, that's true.
do things that's shady in regards to like the medical field,
The sleeping
then
experiment.
I'm saying
Well,
exactly.
yeah, that's what
Well,
it was. See, back then, because they didn't have the tech we do now, where we can instantly alert the entire fucking planet at the tip of our fingers. Back then, if the government, which they did, they did something shady, they could go to like this village, tear the whole shit down, kill everybody in it, and every other village in town wouldn't know a goddamn thing about it.
True.
The king would be
well,
like,
well,
yeah, they were rebels, or they were killed by bandits. They can make up anything, and people be like, oh, okay, yeah,
True.
that's what happened, and they
Matt, Matt,
they go on with their lives, no fucking problem.
Matt, you know what? Yo, Matt, that's like pro and cons to everything. Even in our, believe it or not, I actually do like our form of government. It's not perfect. It's a lot of imperfections.
Right.
But in our form of government, though, is you have the many, right?
Mhm.
Running, the Congress, the executive branch, and you have, two minds. Heck, you could have a couple married for 30 years and they still don't get along in everything. So imagine a group of people running a country. It's impossible unless the only way you could have like cohesion, and obviously we frown upon that. It's actually a dictatorship.
Yeah.
I've been reading Dominican Republic's like history, right? There was
Mhm.
this happened in the early the 1940s, 1950s. There was this dictator that had in the Dominican Republic. It's called Trujillo. He used
Mhm.
to run the Dominican Republic with an iron fist. In the 1950s, 60s, believe it or not, the Dominican peso was actually more valuable than the US dollar. However, check this out. Yes, was he corrupt? Was he a butcher? Hell fucking yeah. Racist? Fuck yeah. Like, he ain't like the freaking Haitians or anything. The dude was racist as a motherfucker. Guess what? But in DR though, during that time, there was no theft. You could literally go middle of the capital. with your own money, go to sleep. Nobody will touch a freaking dollar. Because if somebody takes your money, anybody steals whatever, they'll freaking cut your hands off. They ain't fuck around.
Damn.
So let's put it this way: the reason that the country was not so corrupt, even though this guy was horrible, a dictator. Dictators are not good.
He's a fascist.
But he's a fascist. But he was the only crook. Only he could steal. But nobody else. So if you only have one person stealing, then obviously the country's going to be prosperous. Because
Yeah.
not all his people were stealing, just he was and his family. That's it. Those people. Saddam Hussein did the similar shit too as well. So I'm like, wow, DR was prosperous, but at the same time, but the negatives I think far outweigh, the positive. The country was very sophisticated, was doing good. The peso was worth more than the dollar, but I mean, this dude is, he'll freaking like let's put it this way, you could be one of his top generals, and if he like your woman, guess what? He's sleeping with your woman, your wife.
Damn. Awesome.
Yeah,
David from the Bible type shit.
Exactly. So back to like what you're saying, Matt. In medieval times, yes, you had the monarchy, right? That was like before the dictatorship. Same shit. They run the country. Yes, everybody, they'll tell you what they want to tell you. They're basically telling you the truth because as far as they're concerned, they got divine right. They're gods. The gods put them there.
Yeah, they had a lot of religion backing them up.
But yeah, they could do whatever the fuck they want, but not you, though. You're a servant. You don't own land. Only the noblemen, the king, only they own land. Even to this day, even though most monarchies are abolished, even in Great Britain, prosperous, progressive country, monarchy doesn't really rule. They still have a lot of influence, but guess what? Nobody in Great Britain really owns land. The crown, Queen Elizabeth, she owns all the land. Everything is free. That family will never go broke. Why? Like we pay federal taxes?
Yeah.
Goes to all these different stuff. Well, guess what? Everybody that pays taxes in Great Britain, even the Commonwealth colonies, even Jamaica at one point was also property of, Great Britain. Part of that tax money, guess what? Goes to the freaking royal coffer. They don't gotta do shit. They will forever be eternally rich. And guess what? And it's funny because people love them. Don't get me wrong. The Brits, they love their monarchy. It's like, oh yeah, that's just from the past. But they're like, man, so that makes you happy? Go for it, man. Why would you want to give free money to people?
Right.
It's not you, man. They're just human beings. They shit, crap, eat just like you do.
Right.
But yeah, enough history lesson, brother. It's just interesting. Yeah, certain countries, yes. It was simpler back then. One person made all the rules. Everybody, fell in step. But power absolute corrupts, right? Just like in Star Wars.
Yeah.
What happens, man?
Gotta delegate that shit. Spread that power out.
Oh, it's raining hard over here. I hope I don't lose power.
All right. Your journey is in your hands.
Huh?
I said your journey is in your hands.
It feels like it's raining like the river Styx out there.
Okay.
All right, so we have arrived in Carceri. Let's see what I have to do. The first thing we're going to do now that we're here is to find a direction that we need to go in, and then we need to procure some transportation in said direction.
Wasn't there like one person we were gonna contact first?
There was.
Yeah, when we interrogated, I don't know if it was Gail or someone else. There was like two alternatives. We could choose like one or the other. One, I think one was like a lister serpent. I forgot. My memory's hazy.
It was. You go to the Bastion of Lost Hope.
One of those.
Which is known to be an outpost for anarchists, but also a marketplace for any sort of for all sorts of good.
But there was another person I think that had the eye as well, right? The eye that Blandum had.
But yeah,
I think we were gonna go hit that guy up first.
The Bastion was
Link,
to
right?
be able to buy information about Skullrot's location, or go to Harrowfell, which is the other place you talked about. Harrowfell is a terrible tower said to contain a gemstone that grants mind blank to those who touch it, but it's ruled by a strange Merilith demon with a smoking left eye, whose name is Bayakala.
I think we should go for the non-detection route
Bayakala.
because
Bayakala.
while the cage rights may not have, they probably don't have magic strong enough to, with the exception of fucking Adi Marcus himself. I don't think the cage rights have the power to like instantly know whether we've come to the plane or not. But they probably do have the power to find out if we are here right now. So that means like, time is pretty much on our side. If we would like to still hold the element of surprise, then it would make sense to go the non-detection route.
I'm down with that. Plus, we're strangers in this plane. We can't just be going gun blazing. We don't know the lay of the land.
Mm. I mean, some of us kind of already have it. I don't know if Valenum has non-detection via that. He already has a ring of the cage rights. But I could have sworn there was Oh yeah, but y'all can't wear it, so it wouldn't even matter. Yeah.
What for? Like non-detection to avoid like scry and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Claudius
Let me see
has
what
a
I got.
detect scrying on as long as you're within 40 feet of
Well, Claudius have that's true. Claudius has the spell detect scrying on, which is like a 60-foot radius or something like that. So
Oh,
if
okay.
someone tries to scry on Claudius or even around Claudius, he does
Mm-hmm.
have a good chance of like being aware of it.
Okay. All
You
right.
know.
Cool.
Actually, yeah.
Well, then the Meredith has a smoking eye, so maybe she knows a little something about what's going on. If she has a smoking eye, I'm pretty sure she's tied to Adi Marcus in some way. I mean, she's hearing Carceri with the smoking eye, and so is Adi Marcus, so that can't be coincidence. She gotta know something. Adi Marcus.
I wonder how far away the Meredith is. Well, we don't really know, right?
No, characters have to
Um,
figure out how to find Harrowfell.
would the text scrying work on a specific person or not really?
With a scry, you mean like if you wanted to scry for
Yeah, why not? Or I guess
Yakala?
legend lore or the vision spell.
Yeah.
One of those. Where's my character sheet? Let me get that.
Or we could do it the hard way and go to fucking Skull Rot and start hitting the streets and asking some questions to some people
Hmm.
and gathering information that way.
Um.
If the magical means doesn't work out, we may have to do it the mundane way.
Yeah.
Right,
You don't have any connection to Biakala, but you do have secondhand knowledge.
right.
So you could attempt to scry. You could attempt to scry on the Merilith. Um. If she if you beat her spell resistance and she fails her will save, she gets an additional +5 because you only have
Yeah, so I guess
second hand knowledge.
if I have first hand knowledge, especially if I have something personally belonging to her,
Yeah.
then that increases the probability of success,
If you
right?
had, yeah, if you had like, I think the biggest one is if you had like a body part or a lock of hair or like any or a bit of a
Mm,
nail, she would get a
right.
minus 10 to her will save modifier.
Oh wow. Maybe that's something. If we're not successful, then we could probably do what Matt suggested eventually. Go to the town and who knows, maybe somebody has an effect that used to belong to her or something.
Mm.
So that'll be Plan B if this doesn't work out. Because it's almost like a shot in the dark. So all right, so Chloe's gonna cast the text prime level 4 spell, right?
Level 4 spell, scrying. Probably want to roll on the or roll for the DC.
Text prime. Let me read this stuff. Then let's see. One standard action. You immediately become aware of any. Oh wait, the text scrying is in case somebody's trying to cast scrying on myself. That's the wrong
Yeah.
one. Do I even have scrying?
You know, you have the text scrying.
Not the regular scrying. I got the
Oh,
text
you do.
scrying one.
I think you do.
Oh, I do. I do. It's here. I see it
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It's from
I was about to say,
one of
man, that's
the
kind of dumb.
Cage Right Apprentices spell book.
Right. Wow, it takes an hour to cast a spell. So does Claudius has to get high again on incense and copper? Let me look at the eye of a hawk, an eagle, or a rock, plus nitric acid, copper, and zinc. Oh, he's gonna be getting high. Wizards, that's a focus. Mirror, finding rod, and highly polished silver, costing no less than 1,000 GP. He probably has that. A cleric
Well, yeah, if
focus
it's
would be one
a
more.
focus, yeah, you have those.
He has all that stuff. Second hand knowledge, so I only get +5 bonus. Oh, and I get penalties, right, Lewis? I probably get penalties, right? Or no? Or it's just +5.
Oh, to do a divination, how much of your own blood do you hold
A drop.
on? Was it a drop? I don't even
I'll drop for what?
crushed it.
Drop.
Let me see. Furthermore, if the subject is in another plane, they get a +5 bonus to its will save. I guess that doesn't apply because we're in the same
No, you're
plane.
in the
But
same plane, yeah.
okay, that's good. All right. So I guess it would be like a +5 modifier, right?
Yeah, it's just plus. She would get an additional +5. That's it.
Got it.
Although,
Mhm.
although, before he does
Although
this,
if I were to do vision, I would probably get first hand knowledge, wouldn't I?
Mm.
hold on. I'm gonna bring this
Mhm.
up because of the intelligence. But
Yeah, high intelligence.
she does live in a tower that has a crystal that grants her mind blank every time she touches it.
Oh, so it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
She's immune to all that stuff. Well, I guess Plan B.
So Claudius looked like he was getting ready, and then he stops and he's like, "Wait a second. If she has access to that magic all the time, this is not gonna work. She's probably protecting most. If she, she's a Merilith. With your plane, knowledge planes, you know damn well she's fucking genius intellect. She probably doesn't go a day without touching the crystal.
Right. It's almost like a given at the level that we're at. Anyone that has access to like high level, I mean, Claudius himself, like for like the last couple of levels, mind blank, 24/7. So I wouldn't expect anything less from. Good night, buddies.
Great.
Oh, what does a Maryland look like, anyways?
Multi-armed, um, and it has like the lower features of like a serpent. female with her titties out, and she got like mad swords in each arm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, think of like Vishnu, but like
You'll recognize it.
Mm,
tied with like a yuan.
right. Yeah. I like to know what things look like. Oh, okay. Right.
I was say once you've seen him, you're like, oh, I know, I've seen him a million times.
Yeah.
All right. So need dramas around the group. It's like, so I hope the casters have some form of divination to find this place.
Yeah, man. Vision. Legend lore. Doesn't Cynthia has like bardic knowledge?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, do that.
Cynthia
It doesn't cost resources.
realizes that she would. Cynthia realizes that she'd easily find the place with a find the path spell.
We'll
What happened? What?
find the path. Unless she casted that one time before.
Yeah, she cast it one time.
Remember in the dungeons when looking for their hideout underneath the underneath cauldron.
It was underneath Cauldron. Yeah.
Let's see. The recipient of this spell can find the shortest,
He used it to
most
find
direct.
the fiery sanctum. That's what.
Yup. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty, pretty damn cheesy fucking divination spell. 'Cause you just gotta know the You just gotta know the fucking locale, and then you just gotta know the
Oh, you
yeah.
got
You just gotta know the
the
locale
name
to cast
location.
it, and it tells you how to fucking get there. I'm like, okay.
Wow. I know, right?
Okay.
So it'll say like the actual like how many, how far out and so
It'll
forth.
tell you the direction and like
Well, I guess with a specific direction that this spell casts, then it'll make it easy for Claudius to be able to teleport the group nearby there.
let's see, yeah.
He'll do a greater teleport
The
to
recipient
your
of this
group.
spell can find the shortest, most direct physical route to a specified destination, be it the way into or out of a locale. The locale can be outdoors, underground, or even inside a maze spell. The spell works with respect to locations, not objects or creatures at a locale. The location must be on the same plane as you are at the time of casting. The spell enables the subject to sense the correct direction that will eventually lead it to its destination, indicating at appropriate times the exact path to follow or physical actions to take. For example, it enables the subject to sense tripwires or the proper word to bypass a glyph of. Damn, it adds that in too? Shit.
I know
Damn.
that's easy.
This
It's
spell.
giving us ways to get past shit too. That's dope.
Right. It's like, let's take you there safely.
That's very
Wow.
vague. So let's say there was like a missile there, and that's like a keyword. That means they'll tell you the word for that to the act, so you can get through there.
Ooh.
The spell ends when a destination is reached or the duration expires, whichever comes first. Find the path
Well,
can be.
I didn't memorize that spell, so
Mm,
if I don't have a scroll of it,
mm,
then
mm.
bum bum bum.
Looks like some buffs are disappearing.
Why disappear?
Some buffs.
Why would some buffs be disappearing?
Because now you gotta wait to re-prepare.
Now
I
what about?
mean,
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna see if Claudius can do something. Oh wait, that's not even in the wizard spell list. So I don't think you can cast that.
Hmm.
No.
We could do it we could just do it the hard way.
But we don't know where it's at though. Like we could be like walking for like thousands of miles, right? We need like some sort of compass or guidance, no? Let me see if Vision.
Well, what if we can summon something to have a better
Oh,
view of the land?
oh, I wonder if it's a creature that actually has that spell. That's a spell-like ability that we could summon. Like Claudia should be able to summon.
I'd
Nah,
be
that's a high level.
surprised.
That's a high level power that I wouldn't know
I'd
any
be
of them.
extremely surprised if that were the case.
Yeah. Okay, let me see what Vision does here. The spell functions like Legend Lore said that it's more quickly but produces some strain on you. You pose a question about some person, place, or object, then cast a spell. If the person object is at hand in the place of question, you receive a vision, succeeding on the caster level check. Let me. Uh,
Person,
if
place,
only you,
yeah, vision could work.
yeah, I'm looking at vision. Yeah, check if vision works. Otherwise, Claudia is level 7. Claudia's
Too many
cast.
legends about an place or thing if the person is at hand or you are in. That's what casting.
Claudia's like casting that spell. He gets to smoke weed.
I know this is like I think it's like your third time casting that spell, I think, or is it your
Yeah, he did
second?
it. Yeah, he did it. He has cast a spell a lot of times. Vision.
So
When he
what?
was doing huh?
So what
Well,
the spell would do is it'll give you like information about a location, but it won't give you like a direction to it. Like
it won't give a location.
yeah. So like if you did Legend Law on if you did Legend Law on Harrowfell, it's just gonna tell you stories about Harrowfell. It's not gonna be like
Oh,
here's Harrowfell, it's located here. Blah 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 blah. It's just gonna be like, because it's just saying it will when completed
hmm.
it brings legends, if any, about the person, place, or thing.
That's what he was. That's what he was using it for to basically research on Automarcus and then all these other
Yeah.
people. That's why he was. Yeah, they worked for that for them.
Legends that have been forgotten or
Didn't
even
he?
information that has never been generally known. So it's just going to tell you stories and not tell you where it's at.
Got it.
Hmm.
Let me see. Claudia's gonna look through his spell book, see what he has.
Drama. She goes. One other option we have is
And so you're saying blessing of the pearly heavens wouldn't work? It says that celestial mystic may make a mystical knowledge check and adds half her level to knowledge checks to make such checks on. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Um,
well, you're in the right. You're in the right
yeah, that would be
orb.
the one.
You're in the right orb. You're in the right area. Just
We're in the right orb, just
you,
like
yeah. You just
going that
got
direction.
You know, it's not bringing you. The plane shift doesn't bring you exactly there, so you got basically misplaced anywhere between 500 to 500 miles from it. So the characters just don't know the direction. There's no north, west, east, south, especially in a place that has no sun or is infinite. um, has no sun. There's nothing to tell time or distance.
Right.
Not distance. No, nothing to tell time or uh, geographical orientation.
Well, we could try and see if we could find a native, encounter a native, and ask
That's what
or
Nijama
force
was gonna say anyway.
or force them to give them or even if
Yeah,
not force them, we could actually read their minds.
that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. We could do it the
Claudius,
hard way, which
Claudius says
is
we could
social
just ask
interaction.
them, and if they're trying to be deceptive, Claudius goes like, "I'll be able to read their minds if anything."
Mm.
So let's just choose a direction and let's just go.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
it's better than just standing in one place,
Right. Right.
indecisively.
Yeah, and we don't know. We don't want to just use resources just like that without really knowing, without at least a degree of certainty that it might succeed.
Right.
We're not just gonna randomly just cast that. Magic doesn't always solves every problem.
True. But I'm
And
looking.
you
Cynthia's
got
looking through her scrolls anyway, just to see
yeah,
what
like
she has
Claudius
in
too.
her.
Like he's going through his mind, like mental recollection and everything. While we walk, you know.
All right. So your
Because he was like, Claudius like,
characters start trekking. You just pick her. You're looking around. You're just like, whoever says let's go that way, everybody's like, all right. Whoever said it first, pretty much. Um,
So, what's the weather like, Louis?
so the weather here is it's humid. So you characters got, I mean, unless you got resistance, I think everybody has resistance to fire. No one's feeling, um, no one's feeling like stifling. But you can feel that the air is humid and cloying and terrible smell, as well as it's not really. There's a slight there's a moderate wind blowing.
Mm.
It's not really blowing in a particular direction. Sometimes it blows from the north. Sometimes it suddenly blows from the south.
Louis, I got a
It's pretty
question.
random.
Louis, I have a question. Can I do knowledge planes check to see where this city is located at? Like, oh, that wouldn't work. Do I need like knowledge geography or
Uh
or
yeah,
is,
it'd be
or it's just too nuanced because we need a point of reference and we don't have one.
right. Like a geography check would.
Because it's not like we can look at the stars or the equivalent of
Right,
stars.
yeah. And it's
We're
not
like,
like your characters have been here or like studied this entire area.
okay,
Mm.
Like it's not like you had maps or books that told you like this whole orb, particular orb, all the geography, where the mountains are at, where the caves are at, where the how much swamp and
hmm
wetland and marshes are. Like you guys don't have any of that.
hmm
That's the kind of information that's
okay. So just a regular
it's
plane.
so specific on a specific part. I mean, that's the kind of information. Although the
Mm,
Bastion of Last Hope is actually Last Hope of Lost Hope.
last hope.
I said Last Hope. The Bastion of Lost Hope is actually a compared to other locales on this plane, a more well-known place. So the orb that is on would have information on it. It's just that it wasn't information that your characters knew in your home world, I should say. Um,
Man, it's too bad I cannot spam wish. I can only cast wish one time because I could have mimicked that cleric spell. That wasn't-
Drama knew about it, but she's never been there herself. But she has heard of the
Got it.
place. But yeah, like I don't know if this was like a this was if somebody was like a planescape character and had levels of range or whatever, I'd be like,
So,
this would be an area that they would know about because for one, I think the Bastion of Lost Hope. Actually, yeah, the Bastion of Lost Hope is actually home to one of the factions in Sigil. It's home to the Anarchist League.
mm,
Um, that's the faction that believes in total anarchy, taking down all systems, pretty much. Um, and they have their headquarters here, because I just finished reading it. There was a reason
they're
they
they're
liked this place. So I was like, okay,
they believe in the They believe in the embodiment of anarchy, but they have an organization. Isn't that like a semi-moron?
Well, it's funny because like
Oxymoron.
it's like if you, I think it's like if you ask them that, they'd be like, "We're not really organized. We just have a common goal." Because there's no real leader, and
Uh,
any place where you do see a group of them,
but you see what I'm seeing there, right?
nobody's
They're
really
just all
Yeah.
ordered, but yet they're in order themselves.
I think I remember reading that about them because it's like I'm reading about them and it actually says that it's like
If they're soloists, all of them, then okay, they
it's
work
like it
independent.
said something
A bunch
like
of
that.
Kenpachi.
It says something like now a wise blood is probably wondering why such a faction exists because if they believe in anarchy, then why are they grouped as one? It was funny. I'm reading it. I'm like, but they answered that question. I was like, okay. It was funny. I love Planescape. Just the way they 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 wrote the books. It's got that feel. It's got that plain speak chant. Um, but yeah. So yeah, characters. Walk to a random direction.
All right, so Claudius goes to the Sino. We're gonna need to rely on your survival skills. Make sure we don't step.
Of course.
He freeze. Yeah, I think he froze.
Nah, I heard him say, "Of course," though.
No, not Antonio Petrotto.
into.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, he
there he
unfroze.
goes. He unfroze. He froze for a while there. I was like, 'cause he was in the middle of talking. All of a sudden, he went, eh, and then he froze. He froze again.
So, Louis, can I cast Wandering Weather? I figured now would be a good time to cast it.
I think he has to hit. Yeah, he's hitting.
Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're
All right,
fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
I was gonna say you had to hit reconnect.
So Claudius, he goes like Sino. Back to the basics. We're gonna have to rely on your survival skills here. Make sure we don't walk into any hazardous terrains until we come up with our next plan of action.
I can do that.
If I'm not mistaken, he was a survivalist, right, of the group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's got survival, and he's
Yeah, we
never
gotta
been
go
in
back
this kind
to
of terrain. But if it's anything similar to a marsh, well,
yeah.
from what Zino can
Can't forget
see,
our roots. Can't forget our roots.
there's the three main geographical terrains that this group sees is wetlands, marshes, and high craggy mountains. So it's a very rocky area on top of that.
I can roll that check now.
Um.
So
So I'd like to do well. Was it? I think it's called. Is it well trained or it's that ability Cynthia has where she could aid someone in on her skill check.
that's DC 15 to avoid natural hazards, so he doesn't even need to roll.
Mm. As a matter of fact, talking about hazards, so could Cynthia cast Wandering Weather? Now seems like an appropriate time to do it since it takes 10 minutes to cast a spell.
Did you say wandering weather?
Hmm.
How was that?
Let's check that out.
And it takes 10 minutes for the weather to actually come into effect. It's like weather. It's like control weather, but it's centered on the caster.
Um, so what Zino definitely helps your characters do is avoid deep bogs or quicksand,
Nice.
um, and other things that could be hazardous to the group. Such terrain. The only thing you notice that he's keeping extra sure of are things that he's not used to on this otherworldly place. It's nothing like the material world. It's nothing like Toro. So there could be natural hazards here. There could be hazards here that are natural to just this plane itself, as opposed to back home. So you see that he's like extra.
I'm extra cautious.
Extra cautious. Like you're taking more pauses and breaks than normal, as opposed to like if this was just a normal marsh or bog back home, you'd be walking through just oh, just go here, over here, watch over there, But now it's like, hold on, wait, give me a second.
Sinus a plane. He's a planar tractor now.
Yeah, this website looks like a shortened version of.
Yeah, like a short one. Is that look at that art? It's like from each layer it gets like a little synopsis.
Oh yeah, I've seen that picture. That's in the
That
book.
that art though is actually in Carceri. Doesn't look that bad. Or is that like a different layer? I mean, a different
No, that's a different image of what it looks like, but it's correct. Just like you guys would be, yeah, on that top, that first layer. And like each of the layers of Carceri are like smaller. It's weird because it's interdimensional shit. They're not. So like if you went, I don't know, if you were to if you were to dig into the underground of Orthrus and keep digging like down,
I mean,
you wouldn't necessarily dig yourself into like Cathris, into the second layer. It's not that kind of layer. Like the layers are dimensionally separated from each other, not physically. Although it being a fucking plane, planar shit can happen. I would personally say if you were to keep digging below Ulthris long enough, you eventually might bump into like a breach. I would say like maybe like a weakening of the fabric between the two layers, and you would probably just end up literally digging, not literally, you'd be like metaphysically digging yourself into one layer to the next. I mean that's something that's possible. It's not written anywhere, but I've seen it. I've seen something similar like that in like other planar areas.
mm-hmm.
Um, from like a lot of like planar material that I've read from other books, where yes, it's infinite, but there's a possibility, if you travel long enough, you'll bump into like a portal or a breach that will, like if you're in the plane of water, there's a possibility, you're swimming through the plane of water long enough, you might find yourself in the plane, elemental plane of ice, which borders between, I think ice is water and air, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like a physical, because somebody could somebody could swim for a week and might end up in the fucking plane of ice, whereas somebody who might be swimming for a fucking year and might never literally bump into, enter the plane of ice. It's always like it's always a metaphysical transition. And obviously, the easiest and quickest way to like go from one plane to the next is either magic or to actually just find a portal. But yeah, when it comes to the planes, things get wacky. So I mean, but that goes for anything metaphysical. It doesn't follow. It's not gonna follow like
The rules.
it's not gonna follow physical rules at all. It's just, and even when these sages, even these planar sages, even when they think they've categorized and studied something and are able to actually like write a book on it and compartmentalize it, like sooner or later something comes up out of nowhere and disregards what they just what they just figured out. They're like, yeah, well, yeah, I guess 99% of the time this is how it is. This fucking 1% weird thing that happened is just completely squash everything that we thought. So it's a multiverse. It's gonna be ever shifted. It's gonna be crazy. It's not gonna exactly follow. It's gonna have some rules, but it's not gonna follow them all the time. Or it's gonna follow them most of the time. Or there's always gonna be that one weird little fucking uh, exception to the
Mm.
rule. That's just what makes it fun.
Hmm.
But okay. Anyway, feel like I'm a plain art educator right now. Where were we at? Oh, why am I in the wrong? I thought I switched the characters here. Guess not. Should have been here. Yeah, that's the map from the That's actually the map from the poster map that came with the box set for Carceri. If you zoom out, you can see the whole map. That should be that'll give you a better visual.
Oh. Why does that look like a giant lizard? And then like inhabitants in there.
You talking about this place?
Like yeah, that.
Yeah,
Is
look.
that
Yeah, look at what it is.
oh but we're going inside a lizard?
It's supposed to be. From I've read the book. It's supposed to be a They just described it. Not a lizard. It was supposed to be a
Is that a live creature or it just looks like a creature?
supposed to be a pig.
Hey.
Hold on. I was just reading about the Bastion Lost Hope.
Mount Orthrus looks kinda cool.
From certain angles, the Bastion resembles nothing so much as a huge squatting toad. Okay, it's supposed to look frog-like. Very ugly fucking frog, but fiendish frog.
Mm.
Shoot, I think it even points to where it's at on this little map. Bastion of Lost Hope. Oh, you want to know who's? Oh, that's not the right layer. That's the layer below you guys, but that little place right there. Yeah,
What is
that's
where?
Talona's. That's Talona's realm.
Oh.
Yeah, I found that interesting. I was like, wait, Carceri's the same exact fucking place Talona lives.
What?
Right. I was like, whoa, hold up.
Why wouldn't she have her own place amongst like the Forgotten Realms pantheon gods, like as far as like her domain?
Her
Is that like one of her aspects or actual
No, she
Talona?
has her Talona has a domain right here on the second layer of Carceri. Um,
Why does this
why
look like a
wouldn't
rainbow?
she? Well, she might.
That looks like a rainbow over here. So weird and random.
Well, it's Planescape. This was done. It's Planescape. All the gods had realms in different planes and sometimes intermingled with each other. Um, Heck, some of the Greek gods in Forgotten Realms. Actually, there's evidence of Greek gods having been worshipped in the realms, either in the very ancient past, and their worship either dwindled or got mingled in with another god, or or there's Tyche. Tyche's a Greek goddess, but she ended up getting corrupted because of Lathander's when Lathander began the Dawn War. Um, During that whole incident, Tyche ended up getting corrupted by Moander, and then so she ended up and I think in order to stab off the corruption or whatever, she split herself in two, and that's where Timora and Bashaba came from. She
Mm.
was originally one being. She was originally Tyche, and Tyche's a Greek goddess.
That's why they got that spell Tyche's touch.
Yeah. Whatever Greek gods. There's rumors that Suni is actually Venus because not only is she like a goddess of beauty and love, but if you spell Venus backwards and you take off the V, it spells Sunni. So
What?
and
What?
on top of that, so like that's the goddess of love and beauty in the Forgotten Realms. But now add a V at the end, and you see that it's Venus backwards. That's a fan theory. Plus, it's her, the elven goddess of beauty, Hanalis Solanil, and Aphrodite. All three of them actually share the same. There's like a special. I think it's called the Goldwater or the Golden Pool. I don't know. There's like a special pool that they all share and frolic in and chat and have their ladies' time with. Um, and if I think of them, I think I remember reading if a mortal walked into that pool, like they ended up gaining like 2d4 charisma or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, the three of them hang out there, and
After Maxwell gets his paladin levels, he'll probably seek out that gold in the water.
I'm trying to think of another Greek god that there was another one. Was it her? No, Hermes. Oh, um, I think on one of the tiers of Selune, I think it was the Rock of Brawl actually. On the Rock of Brawl out in Realm Space, there is a temple to um, Odin. So Odin has a very has like one set of followers in Realm Space, but it's on the Rock of Brawl from that temple, that particular temple. But if there's any Odin worshippers on fucking on Forgotten Realms on Toril, they're either from Realm Space or from another world. They don't really have like a strong presence in Toril. There was another freaking deity Greek god because I was looking up to see like what sorts of basically Toril's had a long history of gods coming in and out, merging,
Fighting.
fighting, transforming. Like there'll be a god of this group, and then like as time passes, suddenly like the name of that deity will change, and like the practices will change. Sometimes even the whole fucking portfolio might even change. But Toril's full of fucking religious history like that. That shit is hard to follow. I'm on Candlekeep trying to keep up with that shit, and then when I'm reading some Forgotten Realms books, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, when was this? Freaking, there's a dwarven god of like drunkenry of drunkenness and of like alcohol. And because I actually I think I asked Ed Greenwood on Twitter and he replied and he said, yeah, there's this deity, this dwarven deity. I'm like, hold up, when the fuck was this dwarven deity ever in the realm? Like, I've seen no fucking source for this. Now, I haven't read every Forgotten Realms material, but I've read a lot, and I haven't heard or seen this motherfucker listed anywhere. And then somebody else was like, here's two sources where they do mention this dwarven deity being in the realms. And I was like, wow, that's mad obscure. But I have a file that lists all the Forgotten Realms deities that I know officially have like worshippers, and they have, I mean, even if it's a small cult, like I'll have them listed so that I know they're in the realms. I had to add that motherfucker to the list. I went to my dwarven deity list and I was like, okay, new dwarven god I've never fucking heard of before. But apparently he was there
The whole
the
time.
whole time. Just like mentioned twice. That was it. But it's crazy. It's crazy trying to follow that shit. Because the other problem the Forgotten Realms has is that when the Forgotten Realm, a little bit after the Forgotten Realms came out, the people that worked at TSR, they kind of took some of the like they would take a couple of adventures or even some source books, and they would just dump it in the Forgotten Realms. Like they would literally just take it and be like, all right, this is in the Forgotten Realms, even if it wasn't even originally written for the realms. They would be like, all
Damn,
right, well,
greedy.
we'll officially just dump this here. And they did that with the Bloodstone lands. Like the Bloodstone lands, when it first came out, was not meant to be a Forgotten Realms region. And then they decided, and then I think, and then they had Salvatore write a book. So I think that was one of the D&D books Salvatore wrote was the Bloodstone lands. And so he writes it, and then they took like I don't even think he knew about it. He didn't even know that was going to happen. I think he's like during the writing process or like when he was mostly done or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're putting this in the Forgotten Realms. So
Hmm.
so they had to like stick it in an area by the Great Glacier because if you look at they were like because Greenwood was like here's my original map of Faerun and people are like oh hey I noticed the Great Glacier is like lower in it's like more south. He's like, yeah. He's like, because in my version, I didn't have Damara or Vasa. Um, the maps ended up receding that glacier so they could fit Vasa and Damara when they chose to dump. You know, when they chose to dump the Bloodstone lands into the Forgotten Realms, they had to find a place to put it, and so that's where they put it. I was like, wow, these designers are crazy. They did that with the Desert of Desolation. That's of an adventure book, and in the adventure, obviously it's a desert adventure, and you go through like it's this one part where you go through these ruins, but like it's these ruins of this ancient palace, the city that used to be there, but it ended up dying out because of a curse of like the river it was near. The river ended up drying up, which eventually brought the city down. But in this I think it was in this city there were temples to various gods, and like there were temples to Prometheus from the Greek. From the Greek. Well, he's a Titan, but you know, he was worshipped as a god. Um, Poseidon, um, and a few others. And so they took Desert of Desolation, and that was another thing. It wasn't even meant to be written for the realms, but they dumped it in the realms. So people are like, okay, and there's a map for it and everything. It's right there in the realms. It's in the Roaring Desert, and it's just one of those inconsistencies where it's like, okay, so since you dumped it here, and now we're officially saying that there used to be worshippers of Prometheus and worshippers of Poseidon, but they're just not there anymore. But yeah, following that stuff is fucking crazy. But like, I'm always following. I'm always following breadcrumbs around. It's like it's fun, fascinating, and confusing all at the fucking same time. Um, what was there? Oh, here we are. Fashion the last hope would be on this little orb. But as you can see from this map, the the fucking endless infinite amount of pearls. Each one has different sites and locales. So your characters are like I said, they start traveling. And what's the speed of
The slowest person would be Cynthia.
yeah, she doesn't have anything on
She has enlightened step on.
oh, Enlightened Step is on. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, I see it. That's okay. So it's like Airwalk. Okay, so she doesn't need to
Just like airwalk, and I could discharge it to give myself fly out, right?
Airwalk. Okay, so her speed's not gonna slow down.
Yeah.
It's at um there there it is. might travel stuff. Your characters are in marshes, marsh terrain. It's trackless. There's no obviously in a place like this, you're not gonna find any roads. I mean, if you do, it's gonna be in a place that's heavily populated and actually has people maintaining a road. But Carceri doesn't seem to be the kind of place that does that, unless there's like some great powerful fucking tyrant fiend that is using slave labor. But other than that, fat chance finding a road. Your best bet is you might find a trail, but only because
Damn.
only because people it's going to be only because it's going to be an area. If you find a trail, obviously there's a lot of creatures traveling through that area, but most of this area is going to be trackless, so half speed. Your
Hmm.
characters are going to be moving only about. Let's go.
Yeah, Louis. So what's problem with that wandering weather?
Oh, wondering what is that? Does spell she has on a scroll or something?
Nah, she got that memorized.
Or she prepared it? I didn't even know.
Yeah, she prepared that.
Wandering weather. Wandering weather functions as control weather, except you can opt for the weather to remain centered on you as you move. Oh, so she's casting that, so she can
Yeah.
control the weather. Okay.
Cause it's like it's a 10 minute caster time on it, so it'd be silly to wait until shit pop off and then be like, oh no, I'm gonna be cast wandering weather.
All right.
Definitely a preparatory thing. And it takes 10 minutes for the weather to actually like for the spell to take effect. So
Okay, so it's just like okay, it just follows you around. Duration
hmm
12. You can change the weather in the area. It takes 10 minutes, and additional 10 minutes for the effects to manifest. Call forth weather appropriate to the climate and season.
You know what's a good idea for Cynthia?
what?
I wish I thought of this before, like we left, but we could probably do it the next morning when she's praying for her prayers. Like she could leave like one or two of like her high level slots, like let's say like level 8 or level 9, at least just
Hmm.
one unprepared. It only takes
Okay.
it only takes 15 minutes to prepare a prayer slot. So like
Hmm.
let's say right now we definitely needed a critical spell. It's easy to take a 15 minutes downtime. And
True.
since we have action points, even if you only have one unprepared slot, prepare it, use it. Hey, action point to keep that slot. It is unprepared,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
There you
that
go.
makes perfect sense.
hmm
Okay.
Especially with the vast like spell options that cleric has. You have like almost the entire cleric list at your
All
disposal.
right. Well,
Maybe it's a good idea to keep one or two unprepared
I'm
pairs.
assuming you're just keeping the weather calm as fuck.
For now. Actually, I want to give us cover.
So cover and concealment,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, concealment via fog.
so you can make it foggy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you changing the weather to make it favorable for us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
change it to make it look foggy so that creatures at a distance wouldn't spot
Don't see us.
spot you so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And that weather has changed from miles out. So
2 miles,
mhm.
and it follows Cynthia. So even if you go past it, I mean, the original control weather it's stationary 2 miles, but with wandering weather, it follows you around.
Mhm.
So yeah, you guys, after she finishes casting, you start walking, and as you after 10 minutes of walking, these guys see fog moving in pretty rapidly all around.
Hmm.
which is yeah, which makes it hard to see the sky, but that also means anything flying in the sky is not really gonna
Hard.
spot you
Yeah.
as or at
Right.
or anything in the distance, like anything that's cut out. I've been cut out.
No, you're back now.
All right. Anything that oh yeah, so or anything in the distance, anything that could be up on a high crag somewhere, or a rocky hill, or hiding behind some grove of trees, or even in the bog. It's even in creatures that could be hiding in the bogs themselves. They won't have a clear long distance vision, visual uh, way to locate your group thanks to the fog.
Plus, it's good because all the lights that we have on and all that shit. Now they can't see it.
Mm.
About to be like Storm. Change that shit. Change that shit to some fucking tornadoes. I see tornadoes on there. I could throw some tornadoes at some niggas.
That much a big tornado. Um,
Meswalk could do an earthquake. Could he do that?
It doesn't. Doesn't because that's not considered a weather
Oh yeah, that's
earthquakes.
true.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. My bad.
yeah. I wish I was. I'd be godlike,
That's true.
but I can't make hurricanes though.
okay. So, as you're traveling, feels
I
like
can make it hail. Ooh, that's dope.
your group been trekking for about seems like about a little over an hour. Not exactly
Mhm.
sure, but feels that way. Um, Claudia, your dragon sight magic up in the skies, you can sense. So you can't see because of all this fog, but above your dragon sight, it's caught living creatures in the area here or there, but nothing that's been hostile yet. Um, However, your dragon sight has perceived above uh, several living beings moving in the sky about 100 feet up.
About how many feet up?
About 100.
Okay.
You can pick up you can pick up a lot of movement, a little bit of heat. Um,
And that's above the clouds, right?
yeah, that's above the fog that you guys are in.
All right. Claudia's like, oh yeah, we got Rari's telepathic bond, right?
Mhm.
I sense a lot of movement up ahead. He tells the group, um, everyone, get near me. I'm gonna cast an invisibility spell around us.
Up ahead.
Yeah, up ahead, above the clouds. I sense several creatures.
Oh, well,
So
they're in the air. They're not in a good place. Could I could I change the weather, Louis, and make that flight for them a little uncomfortable?
He said, "Could I change it?"
that's not considered a hostile act, right?
No.
Okay, so while Cynthia's
Him?
doing
No.
that,
Cynthia's changing the weather. No, that's not
okay, so
possible.
all right, so while that's going on, Claudia's gonna cast invisibility sphere on the group, and he's gonna keep and he suggests that we like for the time being we hold our movement until whatever's flying overhead gets ahead of us or leaves. So so our stealth check hiding increases plus the invisibility
Mm.
because we don't know how perceptive these creatures might be. Maybe they have like super hearing.
You could change the weather, but it's gonna manifest 10 minutes later.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna stay put anyway. So Claudia suggests that we stay put because we don't really know what's up there.
Okay.
What creatures to expect.
So in the meanwhile, I'll just start, I'll work on that just in case
We're just
10 minutes pass.
observing, all the high perception people. Just keep a lookout. Claudius himself also, and yeah, we just staying put. Invisibility sphere on the entire group list.
All right.
Franz Beguiler's list.
Obscures all. Okay, fog. Fog obscures. Wow. All sight, including dark vision. Yeah, 5 feet. 5 feet away have concealment. Okay, so it's concealment. Oh, beyond 5 feet. If they are within 5 feet, they have. What about a light fog? This is a heavy. Yeah, you see them in a dense fog.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the drama goes. Oh, we're looking for intelligent beings to like question.
Sure, but intelligent beings we could question that are less mobile than the ones flying above us.
Well, first we need to know what's up there, and especially for I cannot tell how many creatures are up there, but it might be 20 or 30 for all we know. We're seeking a creature, not many than what we can handle.
It's the mobility that concerns me. If they're flying, they could be emissaries for the cage rights. They could easily fly off and go let them know that we're here. Something a little more controlled would be more ideal. Like if we were to bump into someone who's on the floor.
Mm-hmm. We need more intel. We can't just go gun blazing. We gotta know. Maybe it'll fly into view looking for us, and at least if anything, a surprise round or something.
If for them to fly in a view, they have to get within 5 feet of us.
5 feet.
The fog conceals everything
Past
unless you're within 5 feet.
Mm-hmm. Is the fog like 5 feet above us?
More than that, the fog bank is 2 miles wide.
Oh, oh
Two
wait. So it's
miles
not,
worth of
so
fog.
it's not, so it's not like it's foggy like above us. It's like from 5 feet up. It's foggy.
No, 2 miles. That 2 mile radius. So I mean, 2 miles
Oh,
up and 2 miles out.
so we probably don't even need invisibility sphere then.
Nah, we shouldn't. No.
All right. So I
In
take that
fact,
back.
if they're flying, they're probably
Yeah, I was
flying.
gonna say unless a creature can see through fog, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
put. Yeah.
I take that back. I was misinterpreting it. I thought it was like the cloud the fog was only like above in the sky, and then
Oh,
Oh
yeah, then
no, that's
if
too.
they, if,
Yeah.
they, if they flew like down the clouds, then they could see us. That's what I thought. But
oh, okay.
I didn't know it was like all around us.
Yeah,
Like
it's all around us.
It's two
yeah,
miles of it, up, down, up,
Hmm.
yeah. Okay, now I got a
Uh,
good visual representation. Like, never mind. I take back my last action.
right, because we don't got to see where we're going because we don't know where we're going.
Right. We don't need to. All right, so
Right.
let's just continue then.
Hmm.
Do it.
If they want to bang out with us, they got to get within 5 feet of us. And if that's the
Exactly.
case,
And that's our forte.
that's why.
Right, that's our
Get
forte.
'em.
If they come down to us in the ground, that's our forte. They'll be fine. Yeah.
Right. So all that mobility shit goes right out the window.
Right. So, sounds
And
good.
if they want to target us, that'd be kind of hard to do because they have to pinpoint
We
us
can
within 2 miles.
Let's put it this way: we kind of actively are seeking someone to encounter or ambush or fight, but
Right, but on
oh,
our terms.
there we go. You stole the words off of my mouth. In our terms, though, not at the disadvantage.
Right.
Well,
We trying to gang rape people here, not like the other way around. Shit.
now here's the thing. The character work normally walking
Yeah,
about.
we're like predators right now. You know, we're like wolf pack. You know, trying to be like, okay, that prey there looks kind of weak. Yeah, let's go. Wolf, wolf pack.
Hear the sound of a creature walking. Okay, well, it's not one creature walking.
What is it? Devourer
Several of you walking.
walking.
Now they're 100 feet up, so they're going to get a -10 penalty. I gotta see what the DC would be for them to like perceive that you're down below because they could hear you or some other telltale sign.
Wait a second.
Okay.
We're going to the last bastion, right?
Say unfavorable conditions
Hmm.
+2. 7, but with -10 penalty. Characters have not done anything themselves in 5 minutes. Alright, what do I get? That perception plus oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. You sense the movement and it's about 100 feet above, and I already told you. I already told Claudius. Now you sense them moving overhead and about 50 feet away from you, 100 feet in the air, 50 feet away before they. I mean, not 50, 20 feet away, 100 feet up. Before you sense like the movements, they stop and they kind of slowly start to move down.
So they sense us.
So
I relate that to the team.
yeah.
Well, they definitely sense us. They stopped and they're coming to our location. Everyone, battle formation.
And then you can
Claudius
hear you can hear as they're coming. You can actually hear loud conversation. I guess with Zinel and whoever else got high percent, Zinel and Metzawar and Claudius, you're able to make out one of them being kind of loud. Uh, sounded like they were speaking in Abyssal, and the language for those that don't, I know Metzawar does, so does Claudius. What you can make out this creature saying in Abyssal is
Yeah, Claudius understands Abyssal too.
yeah, he goes you hear a voice go, sod off, will ya? It's not my fault. This fog just came out of nowhere. And then you hear another voice go, yeah, well, it's like it's like the you hear another voice go, well, shut up, Bert. Pay attention. The nightmares sensed something down below. I kind of thought I heard something too. We're gonna check it out. Then we'll try and get out of this fog. We'll fly as high as we can. So whatever it is, whoever it is talking, you know that they're mounted on night.
Mhm. They seem to be mounted in nightmares. Intelligent beings. Perhaps it's all the group that we've been waiting for to solicit our to elicit information from.
Yeah, your characters are like after your group is what do you say? I wouldn't say feeling. I mean, unless one of your characters. I know certain characters in this group wouldn't feel this way. Others might. But a level of arrogance, because you're like, wait, oh, they're mounted on nightmares, and your characters are like, after all the fucking creatures and beasts and
That we
monsters
have fought. Yeah.
and mythical fuckery that we had to fight and deal with and survived,
We, we fought an epic creature last
you know,
encounter. Like,
a small group flying through the air on nightmares. Yeah, unless these, you're like, your characters are probably thinking, unless these nightmares are like literal nightmares. Uh, we should be all right with handling them pretty quick. Now,
Nah,
what's
chill,
that?
son.
what do
That's
they
like
call it?
now what
Black.
may be mounted on the
What,
nightmares could be another
what are they,
story.
yo? What are they like level 20 blackguards and shit with nightmares?
But
Right.
what if it's you guys are like, yeah, what if they're like 30 hit die nightmares of like
Yeah,
with
Is it just any nightmare?
with like 10 levels of barbarian?
yo, you know what? I never thought about this, but a blackguard will be like the most devastating creature against someone that are like holy, like Cynthia and Meswar. Even in drama too, because they're like the anti-paladin
Oh, the
against like
fucking
holy creatures.
anti-paladins. Well, I had this guy
Yeah,
as an anti-paladin. His aura, which I man,
the
yeah,
blackguard.
The dude in the fucking armor
Fuck yeah,
that
yeah,
it comes back to life as long as his
yeah.
armor is still
he was a,
around.
a grave knight.
Just like
Grave
evil shake,
The fuck is
evil
his name?
shake.
Alurad.
Alurad, yeah.
Yeah, just like evil shake when they see like a high level paladin is the other way around. When you see a dark paladin, like
I
good creatures,
forgot
like
some
oh,
of his auras
this
because
is better
no,
than
I
holy
forgot.
stuff.
He was supposed to be tougher in that fight because I remember telling you guys I was like, wow, I forgot this one fucking aura he had because he has
You
a
said that. You
yeah he
said
has a
something.
10 foot or he has a 10 foot
Yeah,
aura
you forgot
that
his dark paladin auras, man.
it takes away. There's no save. It takes away your immunity to fear.
Yeah.
No.
And
That's
he was in melee with a few of the characters, no immunity
Yeah.
to fear, and I had built his feats so that he
Or fear, he can fear
yeah,
people.
he would put you in
People,
kind of like
people
what Kai was doing with his
yeah,
shit.
like, and then you could get panic and
Yeah,
run away from
that's what
that.
I
Yeah.
had. That's what I had for him. But like
Ah, man, you fucked them
his,
up big time.
yeah,
Yeah.
cause,
He would have been.
oh man, I was so pissed because I was like, I was looking at his shit and I'm like, man, I gave him a lot of this stuff, and yet these guys have fucking heroes, heroes feast on. I was like,
Yeah, that would have
and it wasn't
neutered.
until like after the whole fucking thing, I'm like, why the fuck did I build him like this? And then, I mean, I'm like, for anybody else, sure, but like, why'd I build him like this with this group? And I'm like, I'm reading it and I'm looking through his shit. I'm like, wow, fuck. I saw that one ability. And I was like, oh my fucking god, how did I forget this shit? That's why I built his character on that one fucking anti-paladin
Didn't that
ability.
creature survive though? That creature is still at large, right?
Yeah, he's still at
He's
large.
still at large. Never know,
I
man.
get to
I mean,
use him
come on.
again.
There you go, man. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. He's still at large.
Anyway, well, it's my first time using an anti-paladin too, so.
I know, man. Like I wanna like.
Like the class from not the Blackguard Prestige class, but like
Do they have like a dark holy
the
avenger?
anti paladin class that Pathfinder made.
Dark unholy avenger, I guess it would be, or unholy avenger. That shit would be dope.
Oh, the blade. Oh, I'm sure
Yeah,
there is.
look, yeah, there has to be like a evil version of it. Or
Definitely,
fuck
of
it.
course.
Or just put the sword of Kaz in there.
Um,
Not campaign appropriate, right? Yo, imagine we fighting a general, General Kaz, son, back in the days. Yo, that dude would freaking be a beast. Right hand of Vetna, Kaz the traitor.
so with night. With nightmares, those of you with the planar checks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, planar check.
You can roll those.
Yes, sir. I mean,
Alright.
you said planar, right?
Yeah, planes.
Oh, explodes. Explodes, burn, burn, burn.
Well, okay,
Do-
yeah, there is a beefed up. I knew there was. They're called the Cockamars. The Cockamar. Cochamar nightmare. That's a weird fucking name. Where did they come up with that? Cockamar. Cochamar. I can't even pronounce it. 30. Got a 30. Alright.
Cynthia probably will roll higher. Her
Okay.
her knowledge planes is higher than
You beat
40.
that by 3, so I can give you information. 4.
30 is high enough for him to know
4
good info
facts.
for facts. What is that for the nightmare or something else?
For the nightmare.
Oh,
The Claudius knows that. I know Cynthia can make it higher, so.
oh fuck yeah, 53, man.
What the fuck is that?
Dang, that's like deity level knowledge.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. It's kind of got epic
yeah,
level knowledge
she,
checks.
she went to. It's like she went to Mount Celestia for 1,000
She went to
years just in
Celestia.
the
Well,
library
I was gonna say,
to
well,
read
Cynthia
reading on
being in
shit
Mount,
for 6,000
pretty
years.
much.
For real.
Cynthia having the knowledge of the fucking heavens, and they've been dealing
Pretty much.
nightmares for millennia, so
She truly is a scholar.
she knows everything about fucking nightmares. Is that why? Actually, nightmares are widely used, especially in the lower planes. So of course, there'd be a lot of information on that. She would know
The
it all.
Mount of Choice.
Nightmares, proud equine creatures with hearts as black and evil as the dark
Do
abysses from
we
which
spare
they
the
come.
nightmares and keep them for us so we can write them?
Assuming you cow them into fear to be ridden, sure.
We'll have Nestor, punch them, subdue damage until they comply.
They they're known to mostly dwell in the plane of Hades,
Freaking flying monks. Shit.
but they can be found almost anywhere in the lower planes. The nightmare, wild, restless creature roams the
Do they have
world.
animal? They have animal intelligence or higher.
No, they're intelligent.
They are higher intelligent.
They're
Oh shit! I thought it was like a regular monk.
above human
Never mind.
average.
Yeah. They don't speak a language, but
They
Well,
roam
they're
the
smart.
world doing evil and haunting the dreams of all who dare cross them. They have no wings, but they can fly with great speed. They seldom allow anyone to ride it, but particularly powerful and evil creatures have been known to make mounts of nightmares. They're usually about the size of a light warhorse. They do battle by biting with their viperish fangs and kicking with their powerful legs. They can fight while carrying a rider, but the rider cannot also fight unless they succeed on a ride check. Their natural weapons, as well as their natural weapons, are treated as if they were evil aligned for overcoming damage reduction. Taking a blow from their hooves will set combustible materials on fire. Um, During the excitement of battle, they will snort and neigh with rage, which fills a 15-foot cone. Uh, they'll pretty much snort out a 15-foot cone of hot sulfurous smoke that can choke and blind their opponents. You
Oh
fail a
damn!
fortitude save, you take a -2 on your attacks and damage for a few minutes, even after leaving the area. Um, they can use it as much as they want, free action every turn. Also, the smoke it gives off, it can grant the nightmare concealment and total concealment against creatures 10 feet or farther away. The smoke that they produce will not obscure their vision. But what they are most coveted for, are their magical abilities to function. They're supernatural magical abilities that allow them, at will, to enter the astral plane or the ethereal plane.
Oh, nice.
Whoever's riding him,
right.
whoever's riding him
They're
has
writing.
free access in and out of Carceri, pretty much.
Oh wow. There must be a very valuable commodity.
Oh yeah. There is a more powerful version of this creature known as a Kokchamar nightmare, and they are a horrible, especially malevolent version. They're twice the size, and even the sight of one of these great horrors bearing down is enough to shake the heart of the boldest champion. The Kokchamars are usually ridden by powerful fiends,
They got a Magic the Gathering card with that. That Chaval Carchuma, whatever that is called. That nightmare.
Mm.
It's
and
put up in French. Carchumar Nightmare. Magic the Gathering.
um, they are more commonly they're also in other worlds or places or regions. They're usually called hell horses or demon horses. Um,
Mm.
that's a lot of well, I'm not going to read it all, but to give you most maybe what the information you need to know.
Mm.
But if you ever get time to read that link, that's stuff that Cynthia and Claudius would know. So yeah,
All right, so Cynthia relays the information that she learned um while in her that she learned while spending time in Mount Celestia with her fellowship. That's what she calls like the group of scholars of a celestial mystic. Um, what you call her hermits that took her into the ranks. And she explains that while perusing the volumes that lie within the the libraries there on the third layer, that she came across the entry on nightmares, and this is what she remembers.
Mm.
And that they warn that such beasts are used to taxi those who don't have the ability to travel interplanar fashions. They're used for that. But since they're so hard to tame, it means whoever is riding it is usually pretty strong.
oh, interesting. There is a lesser version of the creature. I didn't know that. I just found out. There are such thing as lesser nightmares where they're just as they're um, just as evil and they're more well known brethren, but the difference is they're not as accomplished at plane hopping.
Mm.
Yeah, they have and and they don't fly. So the lesser version doesn't plane hop, doesn't fly. The more common regular one can plane hop and fly, and then you got the Kokomo, which is like a stronger version of the regular one.
Mm. She explains they don't have any particular weaknesses to anything to exploit. Nor do they have any particular strengths other than your standard damage reduction. But if they feel like leaving, there's very little we could do about it unless we're going to dimensionally bind them. So if we encounter these guys, the best thing to do, since they probably wouldn't be on the nightmare if they could teleport themselves. So if we wanted to make sure they don't get away from us, we have to separate them from the nightmare.
As long as we could separate one of them from the nightmare,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's all we need. Just one of them. Even if the rest retreat or leave.
As while in this fog, as long as they're 5 feet away from us, we wouldn't know
Is Claudius?
exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Are they close enough that Claudius could detect through his dragon sight how many nightmares he senses?
Yeah. There are 6.
All right. So like Claudius also says that to the group as well.
Mm.
Conveys that to the group. So and he knows like the general location. So I think we should strike. We'll get a surprise round because they're not aware of our action.
Yeah.
Right.
They know that they know
from what
that
it does
something's
say.
there,
From
but
what
they
it's
don't know
yeah.
what we're gonna do.
From what it sounds like they sense your group down here. They can't see you. They don't know. They don't sound like they have anything to
Mm.
to see exactly who or what you are. So they could be flying into anything for all they know. But they're coming to check it out. They seem confident enough to come fly down over it, check it out what it is, because it might, for whatever reason.
So I guess the best bet would be, I remember, if I remember correctly, I think Zyno, despite
Shooting them down.
something, yeah, because despite the fact that they may have cover with fog, if I remember correctly, that doesn't really penalize you that much at all. As long as you know what square to shoot in, I think you bypass cover, don't you? Unless
Yeah.
it's even if it is complete concealment, which is what they would have more than 5 feet away from us.
Yeah, this is not solid fog, so the bullet will not slow down.
Right, right. So you could still tap that ass.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So
We could we could almost, at least for now, do guerrilla tactics because we can move around. They really don't know exactly what square we're at, but we know what square they're at because Claudius could convey that to the group.
yeah. Yeah, if we want, we could play a real game of cat and mouse, and we could do silence so they can't even hear what square we're in.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I mean,
They don't even hear.
we're communicating telepathically, so we know
Right, that's what
exactly
I'm
where
talking
we
about.
are at
Yeah,
all
we're like
times without having to
communicating
see each other.
telepathically. We don't even have to whisper or anything. We're just like,
Yeah, even if we're more than 5 feet away from one another, because we haven't to telepathic bond, we know
obviously,
where we
once they
are.
hear a bullet, once they hear like, Simon shoot, they'll know something is up. Obviously,
Right, but
that's
if they don't hear Zyno shoot, and they can't see their partners because of the fog, they don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like if we have silence and he shoots, they can't really
Right,
do
they
it.
can't pinpoint.
I like
Right.
that. I like that. That will
Mm-hmm.
muscle that.
Yeah.
It's almost, you know.
Yeah, it'll allow us to peel off their ranks one at a time, and they still won't be able to retaliate or do anything. Did we drop one of them? Unless they have various telepathic bond, that's the only real way.
No, they're
But
speaking. They're
they're
spoken out
speaking out
loud
loud.
in Abyssal,
So yeah,
and Claudius conveyed to the group what they're saying. For those of that don't understand Abyssal, a few,
right.
everyone else
And the
understands.
funny thing is, in order for them to stay organized, they're gonna have to keep speaking out loud because they can't see one another.
Right.
So they're gonna have to verify their locations, but we don't have to because we're
Right.
talking telepathically.
Right.
So we know where they are.
Right.
We could keep it that way with silence. We don't need sound.
Yeah. Just keep in
So
mind though, will we throw silence like up there or down where we're at?
they're coming down, so it should probably be down where we
Keep
are.
in mind that silence will hamper Cynthia. Clovis has way to cast around silence, but I don't know if Cynthia does that.
Um, Cynthia does not have a way to cast around silence, but I don't. Cynthia is betting on the fact that if her magic is necessary, she would just leave the area to do it. You know what I'm saying? It would be nothing for her to just leave the silence area. But the thing about it is, they're the ones that need to get within 5 feet of us. So they're the ones that will be screwed
Okay.
more than us, anyways.
Yeah, just making
Besides,
sure that
even if something were to happen, there's so many.
making sure that shit don't backfire on us.
True, true, true.
Spellcasters get like fucked over and can't do their shit
Yeah.
because it's gonna turn. We'll probably get like a round or two tops, but then it'll be whole. They'll be on us right away. They have mobility. They could cover. They could cover a lot of ground quickly as well. And
Yeah, but we got 2 miles of cover. I mean, how much miles are they gonna? What are they gonna do?
we're
Unless
not.
they get rid of the fog. I
No,
mean,
no. We got 2 mile of covers, but they're like within 130 feet from us. Though they're not that far away. Otherwise,
true,
Claudius would not be able to sense them through his dragon sense.
true.
That's how he knows that they're like right, not that far.
If anything, I think it'll just be area effect that will really affect us because they got a 50% miss chance unless they're 5 feet in front of you.
Hmm.
If they come down within 5 feet of us, then Metsuwar's gonna be on their ass.
Right, right. So shoot.
So I mean, hey, let them pick their poison. And from far away, Zino is on their ass, so he can still hit them, even with concealment. So I think we have more advantage than they do.
Yeah, we could do it, man. We'll probably get definitely a surprise round in. Then
Mm-hmm.
first round, they'll still be trying to search where. And the thing is, a sign up could shoot and then move away and stealth.
Yeah,
So it's not
he
like
auto stealth because of health, so it's like because of
right.
fog. It's like he
So yeah,
just can
so
move
we'll be,
wherever he wants.
they'll choose. If we see that they all like trying to escape, then obviously we go on the offensive and try to capture at least one of them.
Yeah, we just need one of them. We don't need
Yeah,
all
because
of them.
because if we have to, we can increase our mobility as well. We have
Right.
flyers in the group. I mean, Claudius can
Mm-hmm.
fly also, and I think Cyano could fly as well.
Yeah.
And
If they were sent by the cage rights, they still can't even. I mean, they don't have an ID on us. They can't
I don't,
confirm
I
that
don't, I
it's
don't even,
us.
I don't even know at this moment if it's like the cage fight. And if they do, they have some very good intel because we're not.
Right.
We just plane shift. We don't even know where we at in this plane.
Right.
So that'll be like a huge like plot device or something. How the fuck they know we're here?
Nah, man, I don't put it on them. Maybe the cage rights got spies in our ranks. You never know.
That's true, man.
they said
That's true, man. Like that clown samurai.
Yeah.
they said they had before.
Right. You know,
I don't
if
know.
Lord
Mezwar
Varance
been
was
kind of
walking around,
kind of suspect right now. So like,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say shit,
How you
but
gonna
like,
suspect the saint?
The drama,
Kai, aka Raikwa, you know what I'm saying?
the
Like,
drama, the fallen
He
angel.
would lose his saint temper though.
what if he already lost it? No one knows.
damn. But see, if he lost the Saint Temper, we would know because he would lose power. Like, we would
Right.
see it.
You'd
Be
see
like,
it.
damn, nigga, how you put up your invulnerability aura to block that
What
spell?
happened to your aura?
I don't know. I don't know. I just, man, get the fuck out of here,
How come
nigga.
you ain't glowing no more?
Maybe, but then again, maybe he got maybe they put it to him this way. If we don't use the shackle for this, then that will cause the entire destruction of the entire multiverse. And he's seen this as a greater good type shit. Never know, man.
He would still lose the Sainthood because Sainthood works a lot like a Paladinhood too. Like, you can't just.
Even worse.
Yeah,
Well, even
that's true. That's true. Even if it is the greater good, you
it's
save
even
the
Mhm.
it's
world,
even
but you
more
lose your
it's even
sainthood.
it's even more strict than Paladin.
Mm.
I know, yeah. That is true though. Well, it might be Claudius. You never know.
That would be the worst case scenario.
Yeah, for real. You don't want the wizards to. You don't want the archmages to turn you on.
For real, that's the last thing we need.
So I guess it's in the drama then.
See, already technically, you're right. You know.
Or then again, it might not even be no one here. Remember that we increase our intel. We got Genya. Heck, we even trust the evil church sect now. The Talon.
Oh, the Talonites,
Yeah, they're part of our crew too now. Also, look at
Lung,
that.
yeah, Lungzu,
Oh,
Yeah,
Lungzu
yeah.
Logan.
on them.
They have a representative when we were having our meetings. So you never know, man. They're
Could
like,
have
okay, we'll work with the Vindicators for now, but if they show any weakness, fuck them.
been. They could
Yeah,
have cut.
That's
They
why
could
they
have cut
want
a
to kill
deal.
us.
they could have cut a deal with Arthur Marcus or the Cage
Like,
Train.
yeah, be like, when you take over, just let us have, like, let
That's
us take
true
over
because
Cauldron.
before we were very close knit, so it was easy to ferret out a traitor like Kai. But now we expanded. It's harder now for us to be able to see like who the fuck is a traitor. We have a
Yeah,
big organization now. That's what
that's
happens
true.
when you grow. We're big now. Anyone could be a
You'd
traitor.
have to go all
Damn.
police state. Be like, all right, round them up in the Temple of the Iron Market. We're, we're, we're casting Zone of Truth.
Yo, we need to put a public.
Inquisition, are you the traitor? You gotta answer.
Yo,
It'd be
if
like,
that shit work on
Are you in league with anybody that is against us?
if that shit work on mind, mentally strong Gale,
yo,
we could be an inquisitor on everybody. Then nobody would freaking pass that shit.
that's true. But then the bad part about it is what happens if, like, we find out the truth that everything is fine, and then now we're looked at
Yeah,
like
well,
assholes.
man, we shifted toward fascism
Right,
For real.
you'll plant the seeds
of distrust.
Yeah,
yeah, the
Like,
seeds of distrust. Like, man,
yeah,
if they could just do that whenever they want, what if?
yeah.
yeah, what could they do?
It'll be like Superman and Injustice,
Yo,
pretty
you guys
much.
remember the movie like Watchmen? Who's watching them? Who's watching?
Yeah.
Like who's watching the heroes?
Your phone teleports to Kelvin. Listen, I have
For real.
Fuck that. I mean, it's very tempting to put a puppet lore major, really, okay, a noble, but really running the strings. But at the same time, that could backfire. That shit could backfire. It's just like in the real world. You got the Justice League, but in reality, the president of the U.S. can do whatever the fuck they want. Look what freaking Lex Luthor became president. He's smart. He like, man, let me
Yeah.
they're a lawful organization. They're confined by the law. Let me become fucking president. I love that.
Oh
Technically,
man.
Clark. Well, not Clark. You don't call him Clark. Technically, Superman. You fall under my jurisdiction.
For real.
And yeah, he ain't gonna do shit. What, you gonna arrest the president? Immunity to all crimes whatsoever. What?
Right.
Yo, that's the ultimate.
Be like, yeah, actually, you're not even a citizen, technically
Yeah,
speaking.
you're
Like,
literally an alien.
bro, you're not from this planet.
All right.
So
Yo, you came here illegally. You never.
you lucky you're married to Lois, or I'll have your ass deported.
Yeah,
Like,
man. You had your green card from
All
Lois
right.
Lane.
So 3 of them land like on the ground. You can. Bob Claudius senses. The other 3 hover. You can sense them hovering above. Now the 3 that are on the ground, they're about 40 feet away right now.
Claudius conveys that to the melee crew, with Latenham and Mess and the drama.
All right. Then they stop, and you hear one of them. They're still speaking Abyssal. You hear one of them go. Hear one of them go. Crexus, stop. You know you have to hold on. Just rush into things. And then you hear like a magic command word being spoken. And you hear the word call out, Queltundish. And then after a few moments, you hear you hear that same guy go, like, he cries out, but not in like terror, like in like shock. And the ones in the air are like, "Hey, what's going on?" And the guy that he called uh, Craxus was like, "What? What just happened?" Finally, this the guy that said the command, the magic command word, he, he, um, he replies. He's like, "Let's we need to get out of here." What do you mean? There's an insane amount of magic over there. I mean, insane. I don't know who they are.
Did they do detect magic
Yeah.
Yeah.
or arcane sight?
Mhm. They don't detect nothing from Valerian either, but this to everybody else. I mean, look at Metsuar himself.
I was just gonna say that it's Messor. They're the freaking detecting magic.
That's why I think Peter Rat.
Has an angel. Yo, this guy's not even an angel. This guy has like what kind of power level? Yeah, like Solar type shit.
He's the closest thing you're gonna get to Goku in D&D.
Oh,
Like,
wait a
Yo.
second. You guys got greater luminous armor on. So
No, I don't.
yeah, but it's in. Have you ever seen fog though? Like,
yeah, but
like light
but
in fog. It reflects off of the light particles itself. Like you can't
Unless,
see anything.
unless you guys are using that deeper darkness coin. Remember deeper darkness?
so say if you're standing on so if you're standing on like I don't know, I've never been in that situation. See, if you're standing on a high hill and you can see fog below, if somebody puts on like a fucking spotlight in the middle of the fog, like you can't see that light.
It depends on how thick the fog is. But you won't.
I
The
mean, what
light
if
is
it's
like the light is dispersed in between every single water molecule in the air. Like that's why it has like a fuzzy kind of like look to it. It's not like direct anymore. Like it would look like an entire fog itself is lit up. It wouldn't look like a point
okay?
anymore.
Well, yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
It's not something that'll pinpoint.
Right, right. The
But
entire fog would be lit
okay.
up because like all of the water is reflecting the light.
Well, they were flying through the fog anyway, so it's not like they would have noticed any light
Right.
shining in. But if they were like flying above the fog, they probably would have noticed like a certain area of this 2 mile radius is like
Yeah,
particularly like
particularly
kind of
like lit.
lit.
Yeah,
So
because the problem is like you would have to get within 5 feet of
the exact
like
spot,
whatever you want to see.
right?
Yeah, in order to see it, that includes the light source itself. You gotta get within 5 feet of.
But okay.
I remember when I tried to cast
Keep that in
invisibility with greater luminous armor with Johan Lewis, like they could still see you though because the light is emanating from somewhere.
So if with this kind of fog, like you gotta be.
Dude, that's one of the discussions we had before because I had like greater luminous armor with Johan, and I'm like, okay, I'm casting invisibility. He's like, okay, you're invisible, but they can still see light, not empty square there.
I think I tried that, but it does make I think it does make
And
the
I'm
light.
like, are you sure? And that's when I have my brain. I'm like, yo, fuck, my brain, do me a deeper darkness on my freaking Temora appendix. That was the end of that shit.
I mean, that's a good question. I would think that if you were to cast invisibility,
Oh,
it would make
okay.
everything invisible.
Nah, there it is.
Lewis said it didn't for some reason
All
back
right,
then.
so it's
Oh,
like
this is different though with the cloud. What you're describing is different.
items dropped or put
Mm.
down. Items dropped or put down by an invisible creature become visible. Items picked up disappear if you tuck them into clothing or pouches worn by the creature. Okay, makes sense. Light,
Mm.
however, never becomes invisible, although a source of light can become so. Thus, the effect is that of a light with no visible source. Any part of an item that the subject carries that extends more than 10 feet from it becomes
So if I were to
visible.
cast, oh, you know what's funny? Because I was about to do invisibility sphere for Lewis.
So they
Mm.
would just see light shining out of nowhere, but not see your
They
All
character.
wouldn't
right.
see the source.
They'd be
That's
like,
All
cool.
right.
"What the fuck
So I
is
guess
this?"
invisibility because we still see the light source, correct?
They would see a light source, but nothing in the light.
Okay.
So if you're trying to be completely stealthy, you
got a
gotta get
ghost?
rid of the light source.
It's like a
Yeah.
traditional flashlight, but you don't see the actual flashlight, just
Right.
like the light. Like where
Yeah.
the hell is light coming from?
Yep.
Or what you would have to do is you would have to get the meta magic feat invisible spell. And so whenever you cast light, the light itself will be invisible.
But then
No,
there's
but
no
the
point
thing
in
is,
But that
casting
would
the
defeat the
light.
purpose, though.
that defeats, right? That defeats the purpose. No, the best way
That would
is
defeat the purpose, however, because the light would be invisible to you too.
no,
So
what you guys need to do is what Johan did. Basically, have like a pendant, right? Put darkness on it. Deeper darkness
Casting
lasts like
daylight.
3-4 days.
Invisible.
Tuck it in your shirt when you
see, hey Louis, you're making fun of that, but hey, invisible daylight would still hurt vampires.
They be burning like, what the fuck am I burning for?
Right. They'll be like, why the fuck am I burning? But hey, it's still burning, bitch.
Oh my god, I'm fucking dead.
Lewis, is there like vegetation around or no?
Yeah, there's like I mean it's a fancy game. I can make up what a fucking tree I want, but I mean there's the equivalent of like mangrove trees here or there, and um actually there's some. Ooh, I can put those there. Is that a good spot to put them?
Some Carcerian flower. You take that shit back to the fucking into our ecosystem and it completely destroys it.
I'm trying to figure out where I really want to put these there. I think I
All
might.
right, Lewis. Claudius is casting a spell, full round action, off the bat, before melee and everybody else moves.
Anyway, yeah. So one of the guys obviously did detect magic. You can tell like they're shocked. And
Why he's doing that shit? I'm casting my spell.
Yeah, I know. I'm just reminding everyone like what exactly is going on. Like they're.
He's like, we gotta get out of here now.
Whoever said that has to have a wisdom score of 16 plus. I guarantee you, son. He's like, hold on a second. This shit ain't right.
Yeah, because if they detected like some magic auras or like a few, they'd be like, "Yo, let's go in here, let's take this shit, right?" So, no, this guy was like, and it was.
Think about it. If a Celestial has the balls to go into freaking Carceri or any layer of the abyss, it's because they're fucking powerful. They're not even concerned about like a demon like surrounding. And we got the Messoar with us, son.
Heck, I think there's even a chance they might have gotten stunned from it.
Damn, that's godlike.
From his holy aura, like, oh!
They got stunned just from the being overwhelmed by their magic magic on us.
Oh wait, I think that was the original. I think that was the 3.0 magic.
That's
okay.
The 3.0 detect magic had it where there was a chance if you detected a really powerful aura or something, there was a chance you might get stunned from it. Well, it might have been It might have been Detect Evo. It might have been that.
I would think it'd be Detect Evil.
I think it's Detect Evil.
Yeah.
There is a spell. I've seen something similar to that, Lewis. I don't know what spell it is. That if it's like too powerful, it could affect you.
Anyway, this guy was detecting overwhelming fucking auras, strong auras. He was like, no, whatever the fuck that is, shouldn't fuck with it.
We gotta capture this, guys.
Yep.
And so the rest of his group is like, well, what did you find? And Craxus was like, what do you think he found? This he wouldn't be saying that if there was no other.
Damn.
I shoot the nightmare.
Okay, well, hold
That's
on.
what Dino says in head. Do I shoot the nightmare?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on.
Pop that nightmare.
Hold on. Wait. First, he needs to.
You can use a nightmare to escape.
Roll initiative.
No, he needs to roll perception so he can pinpoint the square. Luckily, the guy was.
I have blind sight. You some bullshit.
Yeah, blind sight.
Blind sight.
Blind sight. Sorry.
Oh, no, blind fight.
I could tell him the
you
square.
You still need to pick the square.
No. Can Claudius?
Oh, okay. Claudius can tell you.
Claudius gonna. Yo, come on, man. Claudius is
No,
like the
hold
spotter.
on.
Yeah, you know, like I'm the spotter. He's the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
That's dope, son. Spotter and fucking sniper.
And the sniper. There we go.
Nah.
Sniper and spotter.
The guy still has total
See, I would have made that
concealment,
roll.
though.
I can shoot anything that's not total cover.
Mm.
Wait, what about total concealment?
Mm.
Hold up.
I thought he didn't have to worry about concealment anymore.
No, it's improved.
I know, right? He's a freaking level 20 sharpshooter.
Improved precise shot. Any mischance granted to targets by anything less than total concealment. He ignores. They have total concealment. So I don't know if he has a magic item. Okay, so he has blind fight, but that's for melee.
And then I have Ricochet.
Mm.
A ricochet is. It still uses your own square to determine the effects of concealment. Thing is this guy affects that grant. What do you do? So I looked through your sheet. I didn't see anything on here that would help against total concealment. It's still a 50% mischance. So let's see. If you're lower.
But he got gunslinger's luck if he wanted to. Ooh, 61.
So he can you can roll your attack. Or did you?
Got it clap.
Did you already? Or that was your.
No, that was my perception.
All right. So he pointed the square. I failed the concealment, so your bullet will hit if you roll your. Is it a cluster? Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now you're having it where he's shooting the nightmare. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna be frank. You don't have to roll shit.
Roll shit for what?
For the attack. Against the AC of the nightmare. Says
Although, wait.
I got like 6 attacks.
How many attacks do you use? I forgot that. I mean, if he had perfect vision of this creature, I'd be like, don't even bother blow holes in it. Because it's a nightmare. I'm not. Let's skip.
Oh, it's a regular nightmare. It's not the enhanced. It's not the enhanced.
Like 2 bullets and he'll take him out or some shit. I don't know.
It's not the enhanced nightmare.
If it was, it'd be huge size, but Claudius is not sensing. He's not sensing a huge creature. It's medium, large. It's large. The rider's medium size. Is this rapid shot?
I mean, he might as well spend the grip point because you're gonna get it back when he kill a nightmare anyway.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
No, it's too weak.
It's too weak.
It has to.
I'm kind of glad Simon went first. Now I don't want to cast spells.
Yo, I'm saving all my shit.
It has to have 10 hit die or more. Which
I'm gonna cast. Am
I shooting the one in the air?
Cast magic missiles. Look at my one of magic missiles, man. They're not worth.
The one that's close to us.
Okay. How close is it? Because I might get an extra point to damage it out.
He said it was 40 feet away that they landed.
It's some bullshit.
Yeah.
He's like, why not 30?
He did that on purpose. Because he knows 30 feet I get an extra.
He put that shit exactly 10 foot out, like.
All right. Well, you got 4 attacks. You're doing rapid. That makes it 5. Are you doing?
We're just gonna have.
Doing anything else, or you good at 5?
I'm good at 5.
All right, so let me
The
roll
rest
this
of the
another 4 times, and
Oh, roll another. Okay, cool.
freaking Meswell is gonna fly out the mist, dragging.
all right, so 3 of your attacks will go through.
I think that's all that's necessary for real. 3 attacks went through. This Nightmare took 3 shots from Zyno. I think only 2 would have been sufficed enough to fucking body it.
You can roll three times. I'd be surprised.
That boy gonna peel that Nightmare wig back, son.
No.
Is that the second nightmare?
No. He's doing this all on 1.
Oh, 1.
Did that really? Hold up. I would be surprised if that missed. It's touch attack. There's no way. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm like, wait.
he's a gunslinger. Like, this ain't no swing with a sword. Niggas getting shot, bro. He got no armor on, bro. He get ate up.
No arm. Yeah. Fully going right through.
Oh, you guys, Dex. That Nightmare going straight to the glue factory, bro. It's over.
Well,
he's getting turned into Elmer's real quick.
gotta make glue out of it.
For
Let's
real.
see. How much damage do you do? You do 1d10 plus 11. So it'll be 3d10 plus 11. I think it's a. Are they immune to fire? I don't think they are. No.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they be immune to fire?
They're immune to the fire of their hooves.
Oh, their own fire, yeah.
Yeah, not
Okay, that sucks.
That's
Sorry.
a
But that if it was a fiendish nightmare,
Alright,
then they'd
alright.
be immune to fire.
Alright, he don't even need the roll because the minimum he's doing is with the damage bonus. It's like 33, and then it's like 3d6 fire, and then 3d. Yeah, that nightmare 3 shot. You hear like this fucking demonic whinny, and then complete silence, and then you hear the guy that's the rider.
You know what? Instead of Meswell, we should just send them out there and night challenge them into submission.
You know, that's I mean, that's all it really takes for real crowd control.
So yeah, pow, 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 pow. Okay, so you hear all these shots go off.
Mm-hmm.
You hear shots go off. Nightmare's down. It's obvious to those that heard what happened. The rider screams, but lands safely, and
They probably never heard a gunshot before. Like, what the fuck?
I should have hit the one in the air.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna catch the one in the air.
And he's like, Claudius can sense that he's trying to run over to where he's like, Craxus, where are you? Let me get on you.
Damn, it's like a horror movie for them right now. Don't go into the fog. It's a fucking.
It's like, let me get on, quick.
Damn. He probably has to pull his partner out from underneath Nightmare. If the Nightmare
The rider successfully.
Oh, he successfully dismounted.
He's just a ride check for them. I clearly dismounted when the mount was about. He landed safely, but he's trying to find his. Trying to find Carceri so he could jump on his mount and they could get the fuck out of there.
It would be fucked if the Nightmare wouldn't let him get on him. I only accept one rider. Who the fuck are you, bitch? You not getting on me.
You failed my compatriot. He's dead.
For real.
You could have done a ride check. What is that shit that Orion used?
For real, yeah, it's a ride check.
Unfortunately for the guy that got his Nightmare killed, the rest of his squad was sort of flying off.
Yeah, because they evil. They don't give a fuck about them niggas.
Make it chaotic evil.
Yo, Nakama my ass.
This is fucking Carceri, dude. You're done, like.
Damn.
Yeah, throw a magic glass on that dude. You know, the guy without the horse. We keeping him. We need to question that guy.
But
Hmm.
so
Okay.
he starts yelling at them, cursing at them loudly and abyssal. Um,
Well, that's a good
Ah, that's just funny though. Like, fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys.
um,
What's going on?
How many times I stuck my neck out for you fucking cowards? Y'all gonna leave me like this?
anyway, so yeah, he's pretty much cussing at them in abyssal, and he's like, when I catch up to you, I'm gonna fucking kill one of you. And
Damn.
so he's like, as soon as I find my wand,
I see what you did.
Damn, that's hilarious.
so he's like moving through the fog, rummaging through his belongings. Apparently, he has a means of escape besides the nightmare. So
Uh-oh. You might try and freaking like teleport and shit, dude. You gotta subdue his ass.
yeah, you guys
Subdue his
gotta
ass.
subdue this guy quick. So Metsu,
Well, if it takes a
I can
command
see.
world,
I can
all
see
we
Oh
right
yeah,
got
away.
oh yeah, fuck it. Yo, Meso going into action.
if it takes a
Yeah,
command word, Metsuwa could be on him with Mage Killer, or we could just do silence, and then he doesn't have a
well,
command
Metsu
word.
Well,
really,
Meso could stun him too.
Yeah,
I yeah.
The good thing about Meso is he could do subdue damage and stun.
yeah.
We'll knock him unconscious. By the time he wakes up, we'll do an Orison, bring him up to 1 HP. Like, okay, dude, let's get it popping. He's tired.
He has some questions for you, my friend.
We have gotten pretty good at stripping people. You know, we're good at subduing and stripping people of their belongings.
And I believe you were good at that too. It seems like you were trying to do that to us.
We definitely have. We stripped Kai. We,
Hi,
we always
Dio,
Mr.
stripping
Gal.
all the
people. We
cage
always
rights.
stripping people.
Heck, even
anyway,
that freaking Dark Paladin that freaking bounced. Didn't we take some of his equipment away also? His deer got left behind. We have that shit in our boat somewhere.
yeah. What was I gonna say?
So he's rummaging through his things, you said.
Anyway, so I mean, you got the rest of your characters. I mean, Metsu knows where to
Mesro's gonna
go.
go up there, obviously. He's gonna go up there and he's gonna be like, he ain't gonna talk. I forgot. Mesro hates demons, right?
Well,
Um,
okay, so that's right. Yeah, so he finally gets to this guy, and he can see what he looks like.
okay.
Looks mostly human, except for like these pure black eyes and like the bald head. There's no hair, but like the skin looks scaly, but not like a snake, more like a fiend. Um, but it's like patches of scales. It's not like all scales. It's like a patching of scales from like his brow over his head down his neck, but the rest looks um uh like human flesh, like just normal like dark brown human flesh. Yeah, that's what the
Question. Belenam, is he good at intimidating?
Very good at intimidating.
All right. So what this guy Mesor, he's gonna go and try up there. He's gonna like try and grapple him. Well, knock him up. Punch him a few times, then grapple him. One of his last attacks, and then he's gonna Mesor, he sends a telepathic message to Belenam. B. See if you could get some info from him. I'll subdue him, and then he's trying to grapple him and shit. And he's gonna let B do his good cop, bad cop type shit.
Okay.
Because you're good at diplomacy plus intimidating, so you got like the perfect skill sets for the situation.
All right, cool.
And you already know what Messor is doing, Lou. And if it looks like Mess needs some help, we got Sino there to pop a quarter or two for for persuasion purposes, right, Simon?
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't even have crap, but he can. I mean, he can not like he's gonna get hit.
It's Superman we're talking about.
Like, all right, hit me with your attack of opportunity, whatever.
Yeah, he don't care. He's gonna go in there.
So he's going in there. He's gonna.
He regenerates. Like Mesua has no worry in the world. As long as I got 5 rounds, that's 50 HP. I regenerate it. He regenerates what, like 10 HP per round? That dude just needs to like rest for 1 minute. 100.
Real.
If he's like in deep shit, yo, let me build a freaking hole. Oh yeah, he could burrow because he got the mineral war.
Yeah.
Underground.
He can go underground. Yeah.
Money, heal up, and then come back up.
Um,
Well, that's a tactic I just came up with now.
Well, he has to finish his movement above ground. That's the only
I
thing.
don't think grappling's
Definitely. But if he's dying, I'll be like, yo, I'm going like Bugs Bunny, heal up, and then come back up. That dude could swim underneath the ground. Earthbringer, like it's freaking water, guys. We don't see Darren do it, but
he never does that. Yeah, but he can. Yeah.
But he can.
I don't think
on the ground.
grappling's. Will that prevent you from using your wand? No.
No, because a wand is a small item. But the problem is, if the wand requires concentration to activate it.
It has a wand.
It's just a command word.
No. If
Yeah.
I thought he didn't have his wand in his hand.
No,
If he
he
has a
got it.
wand in his hand, he's gonna sunder it. Then he got a whole bunch of attacks. He'll sunder that shit.
Oh.
Claude is gonna get pissed, obviously, but
And roll is sunder maneuver.
okay.
But he can easily just disarm it as well, sunder it.
Oh yeah, he can disarm, right? Disarm.
It'll be the same difficulty.
Yeah, same difficulty. He'll take the attack opportunity. He don't care.
Yeah, because either way, he doesn't have improved sunder or improved
He
disarm.
disarm the shit out of you. Here you go, Claudius, a new toy.
Like, give me a goddamn wand, snatch the shit out of his hand.
You know, he was gonna sunder it, and Claudius like, not the loot. And then he disarmed them like
Or some Steven Seagal shit, like, you know.
Yeah, he disarmed him. He got disarmed. So that's why freaking.
Yo, come on, man.
He did an arm lock. Freaking twisted
Neo from the Matrix, son.
freaking twisted one thumb, which caused the guy's whole hand to fucking let loose. The fucking wand dropped. And then with the other hand, Metsor grabs it. Since he's unarmed, he can actually keep the item.
Yeah,
He disarmed.
yeah, he can keep it. I mean, it's almost like an adult disciplining a 2-year-old. Like this guy is like beyond mortal ken, son. Like, give me that shit.
So after he's subdued by Metsuar, Valadum goes. You see,
Well, hold on.
from okay, never mind.
He didn't get subdued yet. All he did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All he did was disarm him.
Gotcha.
So he disarms him, and the guy.
He's gonna. He'll beat him.
So I was gonna say, yeah, the guy.
Punch him a few times.
The guy reaches around his back, unsheaths his weapon, the tri-bladed Qatar, and he goes to stab.
Oh shit!
Goes to stab Metsuwa. Metsuwa's like, you know.
No,
goes to stab Metsuwa.
No. He tries to stab Mesua. Mesua goes like this, since he's being influenced by Omater. Go ahead. Like he. Go
ahead.
Listen. So he goes. Listen, he goes to stab Metsuwa with it, but like his whole attack got diverted, like right off his robes. And so, you know, the guy completely misses. And he goes to slice him again. And, you know, Metsuar just kind of moves over to the side. And again, the guy's attacks get diverted. And then, so he's like swinging at Metsuar. Metsuar's like realizing, like, this guy's no match. Like, he's good.
Yeah, he's not concerned, son. He's not concerned, son. That's why he's like been late.
He's not concerned. So anyway, Metsuar's turn. He can easily.
Yeah, he's gonna do that, man. He's got just for shits and giggles. You'll see he knows the difference in skill level, he'll punch him twice, BAM! And then the second punch stun him, or try to stun him, and then the rest of the attacks to subdue him, pin him, and all that shit.
Yeah, he failed his stun save. So
Damn, what two?
So Metsua, he's just letting the guy like attack him because Metsua's like this guy. I can tell
Yo,
this guy's not gonna.
literally has his guard down.
Let's say Metsua's like Metsua, with his wisdom and insight, all this shit. He's just like it's like this character. It's like this poor guy doesn't know he's like attacking somebody with like God, literally godlike AC. So after Metsua lets the guy, get his attacks in. Finally, Metsua was like, "All right, time to end this." Freaking Metsua raises his fist, and with just the middle knuckle, he goes. He just
stun.
Oh, the disrespect.
I know. And this dude's like,
that's some Goku shit. The middle knuckle.
The middle knuckle just babs him on a particular spot, right on like.
What Metsua did? He went
right on like the bridge of his nose and his head.
Damn.
The guy went.
This dude Metsua hit him in the pineal gland. That's fucking godlike.
And that's when he just went, did the rest of his flurry and subdued the guy completely.
Damn.
I'm sure. He goes like, Bow. I'm sure he'll be more compliant now.
Oh, not even. Let me do this Metsua style. He's the Earthbringer. So after he stuns him, he he does a spin up. He leaps up and does a spin, turns around, and has like both his arms out like this, and lands both of them. Actually lands like a double elbow right onto the guy's, like onto the back of the guy's neck, which knocks him prone to the floor, and then but he follows through the trip attack. As the guy hits the floor, Metsua continues to put the rest of his body weight onto him, and pushing the guy into the muck. And the guy's like half his body is in the muck of the ground.
Damn.
And then sits on top of him and grabs him around the neck and starts like pulling back on it. Subdues him. I mean, this enemy was not no match.
Lewis does the
13th level enemy, but
yeah. Lewis does Metsua now.
Average the 13th level of an average NPC.
Right.
Does Metsua now has the mastery, kung fu mastery to literally like with the flip of like the finger like that, blah, in the proper body part, like let's say like here in the neck.
I mean, with certain enemies, with certain
like that, just like a little flick of the freaking like.
I mean, he's not gonna do that, he's not gonna do that to a Baylor, but like certain enemies.
No, of course not. Like someone like let's say someone like in this situation, 7 levels lower than him,
Oh yeah, in a situation like I'm gonna describe the attacks, depending on the strength of the enemy. Like with a guy like this, I mean, the guy's 13th level still, in most other circles, he's formidable, but this is not the circle that he's from.
Hierarchy will get destroyed, son. Level 13 hierarchy. That's the level hierarchy is, level 13. They will get destroyed, son, lifting around.
Whoa, wait a second. Level 13 Penthus
13
cannot...
PC. This is a level 13 NPC.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about like level 13 Penthus and crew with the current level these people are right now.
Yeah.
They'll get waxed in a round.
They get spanked. All right, so after he's subdued, Valedum walks out of the from the guy's point of view. Since he's on the ground, like looking up, he's like half buried in the mud. As I guess Metsua has his elbows in the back of his head and kind of pulling him up in like kind of a Boston crab kind of like way. I guess he's holding the guy's head up because I'm pretty sure he wants the guy to be able to breathe, right?
Of course.
So he got to hold his head out of the muck. So from his point of view, he sees Valenum. Once Valenum closes that 5 foot, he can finally see him. He just comes out of a bank of fog, and you can see pieces of the fog kind of clinging to his armor as he comes out as this huge imposing figure. And then you see his red cape, all with like different like patches of like red cloth like sewn together, each piece representing a life that he's like helped to save. And the cloth is like keeps getting extended, so it's like this long ass cape that kind of like comes out behind him, and um he stands near like directly over the guy that that Metsuar has under submission. He gets down to one knee in the mud, and then he grabs the guy by his neck, and Relatinum puts his helmet within 1 inch of the guy's face, and he goes, "Where's my boy?"
God, last session. The
Yeah.
note. You just remind me of that.
Ooh!
No, this ain't the same file from before, son. This is like file unleashed.
Yeah.
I forgot
Ooh,
about that shit.
that
That
came
does
with
not
some, that
sound
had
like
some
a
earth
late
to
line
it.
now. You know, Claudius is
I
like,
was a one.
Anyway, there's like
I got no sense motive. I know Val is not acting like
there's a silence, and then the
it's a skill
guy
check. You
the
don't fail on
guy
the
the guy, which from what it looks like, he looks, like I said, he looks mostly human, but with, like, kind of like fiendish qualities to him. Very, very highly likely it's a tiefling.
Was it Typhling?
Yeah. Um. But yeah. So his eyes are like looking at Elena, like completely frozen, and he's like,
The dude's afraid.
and and then Mitsuo's like, "Oh, really?" And he looks down between the guy's legs, and he's
He
like,
pee on Meswar. He pee on Meswar. I knew it.
Oh, no.
That dude pee on him. What color is his bio? Green or yellow? Probably green, son. Green
but
acidic pee.
but yeah. So the guy's like, I'll, I'll
What
tell
are you
you,
talking about?
I'll tell you whatever you want.
He
And
probably
with,
don't even know what's going
and
on.
with your and it's Carceri, so like obviously you gotta be extremely careful with treachery of all sorts. But with your character's high sense motive from Millennium and that's why you both
That dude's
can
afraid.
get a
He'll say what he
clear
is.
indication that this guy is going to be very honest. So if he values his life, which he
I'll do
does.
whatever you want. I'll suck your dick too.
So the next question of
but
Later Masters, where did you and your troop come from?
um, what you call it? So he's like, yeah, sure thing. Uh, 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 it's like, his face strains as if like he's like so overcome with like everything that's just happened within the last like 6 seconds. He's like trying to like collect himself and then try to remember like it's as if he like completely forgot like what he was doing before that. But he's like, okay, so, and he proceeds to tell Valena, but this is where we'll stop the session for next week.
Ah, man, yo, I'm tired of these little fucking tidbits, man.
You ain't shit.
Lewis, like, this is the perfect time to stop so I can think of what to do.
Oh no, I know what I want him to say.
Okay.
But I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, like I get like enough information.
I feel like this. I feel like we keep stopping at good parts and stalling. Like you try to like you try to give Darren a window of opportunity to jump in here.
I feel that sometimes too. Like,
Look, this nigga not gonna show up. Okay, like
I wish he was here too.
Just give us the goods. We want him to be here.
I can keep this going, but I gotta wake up in 4 hours. So.
You know.
Okay. That's true.
You know what's so funny? I bet Darren's probably home right now. He ain't even know we're playing.
Damn.
He knows it's Thursdays. He probably. I mean, he's so busy. He probably forgets what day it is too.
Oh, so he be.
Well,
so
actually,
he
no.
be.
No, he has to know what day it is. 'Cause it's his job, but he probably just forgets Thursdays is the. But he can't.
I mean,
he probably can't do anything about it. Really, I mean.
Right. I think he knows. He just can't do anything about it.
He can't do anything about it. Yeah. I mean, it got to the. I mean, you heard him. It got to the point where his boss told him to take the fucking day off. Like, not for anything wrong, but for something right. He basically told Darren, take a mental health day. That's what he told him. So.
What did that nigga do? Didn't take the mental health day.
He did. It was a Friday. It was a Friday too. I was surprised. I was like, damn. He gave you mental health day on a Friday night.
If he ever off on a Friday again, I don't. Even if it's 2 nights in a row, I don't mind playing, man, because he don't play that much.
That's why he sent that. That's why he
even
sent that.
Even if we cancel the day before, like Thursday night,
he said that's why he messaged that night because he thought we might have been playing that last Friday.
Yeah, it was last minute. I don't think he knew he was gonna be off.
Well, no, he didn't. He's like, my boss told me to take off. I look. He's like, my boss told me to take off. I look overworked and tired, and basically, like I said, his boss gave him a mental health day off because that's essentially what it is. They may not have called it that, but that's what it is. I'm
really digging the role play that we've been kicking out lately, yo. It's mad fun.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of role play lately.
I mean, I wish he was here, but shit.
Yeah, because you get to see more characterization from that.
They would have been like a perfect opportunity for like Val and like
last week
and for like Meswar to like interact and so forth.
Yeah,
I mean,
been a lot of opportunities.
And there's gonna be more because you gotta. Bastion of Last Hope. You gotta deal with the natives.
I try to remember him. I'm like, hold on a second. Like, at least I'm like, nah, Claudia's here. He knows the guy's got this. So I'm like, let me go into Meswar. But yeah, man, it's easy for his character to be like in the drama category. See, even the drama, we sort of like forgot about her. He didn't do shit now because we got it's too many characters to keep up with. And Lewis was helping me with Meswar because Lewis knows Meswar, at least his personality more than I do. So he would jump in, to his best of his knowledge how Darren will react. I know the mechanics of Mask because he's a monk, obviously.
Right.
But Lou know more like how he
personality wise,
right?
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Well, all right, man. Love you guys.
It's always good, man. I'm glad I'm glad I checked my phone again. I didn't think we were gonna play today.
Yeah, because like it was a barren wasteland. I saw Louis go, yo, so we good today. I was like,
I was made confused because I logged on like
I'm out.
I logged on like 10 minutes early, and then like I'm sitting there chilling, and then I look at my phone to see what everybody's doing.
But you know what?
I see messages from like an hour ago. Like, oh well.
I didn't even realize
what these guys talking about.
Bro, I didn't even realize that it was like.
Yeah, you're like, I guess I'll go to bed. It's like 8:30. I'm like,
it was
9:30.
It was like after the fact.
That's because right now, I'm in Ohio. So like I'm on Ohio heading to Florida. So my time. Yeah, so I'm an hour ahead. So that's why for me.
Oh, because you did send it at
9:30, but it was so that's why
9:30 for you. That's why.
Right. That's why I started getting concerned. Like, all right, so it's 9:30. No one's saying anything. I guess we are playing then. And then 10:30 hit, and then that's when like people said something. I was like, all right.
For some reason, Matt, when you say, "Oh, I guess we're not playing tonight," in my mind, I thought it was like already past 11. I'm like, wait, if it's already past 11, nobody else called. We're not. And then I realized later, hold on a second, it's only like 10:20. It's like I'm paying after 10:30. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, I'm an hour ahead on my coast, so that's why I was like,
I lost my track of time as well.
We almost got fucked over.
I will be honest.
Time zone difference.
I was finishing a raid. I couldn't.
What game?
I would be honest. I would be real. I was finishing a raid,
What
and I was
game
like,
you
I
play?
can't stop. Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, you
I
back
just
on
finished.
Final Fantasy 14?
Bro, I've been on.
You been playing it?
Hell yeah!
I ain't know
Shadowbringers was
this.
godlike.
Yo, Antonio is more of a gamer than us, man. He plays everything.
Yeah, I wish
real.
I wish I had the
I've
time to get
dumped
back into
800
FF14.
hours into that game at this
I
point.
So
don't.
you've been
Like,
playing since it came out.
yes.
How the fuck
wow.
we not know
Like
this? I'd have been
like
added you.
1.0,
When are we
and
replaying?
then
How do
I
you
played
find time to
again.
do all this shit? Don't you play like
Damn.
League of Legends too, or you don't play?
No,
that
I
one?
just Final Fantasy 14 is the only online MMO game I play at this point.
Okay.
Mm.
Like,
That's what I'm
it's,
saying. If I was to get into MMO again, I would go right back to
Because MMO is
FF. I would go
so
right
Bro.
back to FF14.
y'all needs to come back to 14. Endwalker comes out in November. I'm just fucking
There's so
saying.
much to catch up on. Jesus Christ!
Yo, you
Three
they just
fucking. There's
made
like
Yo,
three fucking
I stopped
expansions I'm
playing that
behind
game.
you
on.
gotta do
Only-
3 expansions and
I
they're
got there
reworking
when
the
I left
jobs
when we were
for
playing like
November.
level 50.
Yeah, I
cap,
got up
man.
to turn 5 Bahamut, and that was
Oh, I ain't
not
even get to
Bahamut. I said
turn one.
Bahamut. Turn 5 fucking
I ain't even get to turn one.
Matt, you know. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't even get to. No, you did turn 1, and that was it. You stopped
I
at turn 1. Yeah,
That
I
I
remember.
did turn one and that was
You
it.
did
Yeah,
turn
okay.
1, and you were done.
I
Turn
got
5.
That's
I
it.
got out to turn 4.
Basically,
fucking
basically, storyline wise for Final Fantasy 14, I got through the first part and then stopped after that. But then I did
I'm not.
I did get back into it with the next expansion when they brought Leviathan and all that shit.
I remember
Fucking,
those freaking elemental fights, man. They were
I did
fucking
that. I
Turning
played for
Coils.
like another 3 months, and then I stopped, and then I tried to get back into it.
I was playing. What was I playing? Oh,
29
Paladin.
Yo,
Paladin.
2019,
The
I tried to
Turning
get back.
Coils, that shit is still relevant to this expansion.
Really?
They told you, yo, if you
The
want to know
coil?
about what happens
Coil,
in
that's
Endwalker,
what it was
yeah,
called.
the
Coil.
Turning
Yeah,
Coils of
coil.
Bahamut. That's what it was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
said this shit is still relevant even in the next expansion.
What?
What
Like-
does it go up to? What does it go up to? To what? You know, what does it go up to? The coil.
It goes up to turn 5.
That's
It
the
goes up to
original.
turn-
No, that's
Oh,
the
that's the
yeah.
original. That
No,
was
this,
it?
Yeah, like
no, with the
those-
expansions is other shit. But you're talking about storyline wise, the coil.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
They told us
Oh.
to they're like, if you were to play anything else to understand the story of the next expansion, play Turning Coils of Bahamut. I was like, that shit came out like 5 years ago.
See, when did- I was gonna say that was like 5. Was this
Yeah.
One Piece fucking storylines here?
Watch, man. I haven't even played that in
You
forever.
ever play?
Like,
You ever play
It's
Final
a
Fantasy?
fucking One Piece storylines.
Or no?
No, I never played 11.
I
Never
love
played
that
11.
game.
Thank
That
God.
was
No,
that was like
no.
the
you
only
saved your
MMO
soul.
You
That was
saved
the
your
only
soul.
MMO that I really played.
Oh
like
my
a lot.
God, Antonio. I mean, here's the thing.
Then after
Here's the
that, I
thing.
got married.
Here's
had
the
kids,
thing,
career,
Antonio.
shit.
I walked away knowing what I want from my MMOs. I walked away seeing
I
every.
love
I walked
FF11.
away from FF11.
Throw
No,
it down.
here's the thing. I walked away from FF11 with every MMO after it being easy as fuck. But DDO, remember DDO? Easy. It
Yeah.
was fun. It had some challenges, but it was nothing
Your DDO was
like FF11. FF14, fun, has its challenges, still
Luke,
easy
I'm gonna
compared to
I was reading
FF11.
this
Oh my
article.
God.
I think it was yesterday. I'm gonna try and find. I'm gonna put it in the group and what's up. They were talking about like the evolution of MMOs, and they actually mentioned like FF11, 14s, and World of Warcraft, all that.
Mhm.
And like in many games now, like World of Warcraft, whatever, like they added like let's say like flight, right?
Yeah.
I like the point of view this author was writing. She's saying, you know what? Ever since they added like flight in certain games, now you can go from one point of the world to the other like super quick.
Mhm.
Before like FF11, it was like a journey. Like
It
it
was
was
a
like a
fucking
real
journey.
world. If you wanted to get to one place, it
Mhm.
would take a while, and you will build like a group, a social group.
Yeah. And you had to level in certain areas.
You
You
needed help.
monsters were too strong. You couldn't get there, but you still need to go there. So
Antonio, fucking, to get from one place to another in FF11.
But
it took
that
mad
was-
long though, son.
Man,
It
Yeah,
took so
that was
long.
So
part of the-
people-
that was part of the,
that's why people did. And then even like the fastest way was with White Mage, and even
Oh, the
still,
teletaxis.
even still, you had to teleport, and then from the teleportation spot,
I'm gonna
still
try and look for that
journey.
article. I'm gonna
Still
try and look for
journey.
that
Yeah.
article
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and look for that
I tell
again.
you one thing. The thing I walked away from that I got from Final Fantasy 11 and playing it was I took that and directly applied the principles of that to my real life.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that should help me.
It felt
Like if
like
you
real
could
life. That's
grind at
because it.
Final Fantasy 11 and be
Oh yeah.
successful,
Because it
You
felt
take
like
those
fucking
principles
real
and
life.
apply it to your real life, and
Yo,
then you'll
that
be
game
able to
was like,
fucking grind
yo,
yourself
I'm
to
telling you,
like
that game was like real
success.
life. Like,
It
let's say, like,
was.
you
It
had like
fucking
day and night.
was.
It would take almost like 3 hours of real life for it to be daytime. Then three
Yo,
hours of
how
real
many
life
Mm-hmm.
for
how many
nighttime.
nights did I stay up all
Oh
night
yeah.
with
Oh, me
Pagan? Who
too.
was it?
Camping.
Pagan,
Like
Hey
certain
Guy.
monsters will only pop up like once every 3 days
Just
in real
just
life.
yeah,
Blazed,
just to try and get the Ebo, man. I was like,
yeah,
Bro,
hey guy,
it
yeah,
took me like
You
Blazed.
said
it took
that
me
you
like
said that
over a
14
year to
was
get the
easy.
black
Have
belt.
you ever done a Savage Raid though? The
an
stats for that
FF14?
shit for 14.
Oh, wow. They have a Savage mode now?
They have a Savage, bro.
Oh my.
That's where
Hold
the
on. Wait, wait,
sweats
wait, wait,
go.
wait, wait. As in, this is a step higher than extreme mode?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Damn.
And the
Extreme,
killer
listen,
part is,
extreme was
so
hard.
you had
It was
basic, you had
doable, but it
extreme,
was
and you have
fucking hard.
savage.
Now you have Savage?
Savage adds new
Doesn't
mechanics
Dogma
to a
still play
raid.
that game? I
Savage
think
sound. You know
Dogma
what?
still plays.
Savage sounds like it's
That's
FF11.
where you get the highest
Dogma
level
still
gear,
plays 714, I think, right? Dogma
and
still
you
plays.
only get that drop once a week.
What?
Once a week, and that's even if you get it.
See, but that's why FF14 is popular. Because
It's beating WoW at this point.
here's what the problem was with FF11. It was built for hardcore players only. There was nothing casual about
Mhm.
it. Whereas
Nothing casual about Final Fantasy 11.
FF14 has a wide range. You can be
Yeah,
casual, you can be in the middle, you could be hardcore, and still have fun and still do your shit.
I tell you what I like about Final
Yo,
Fantasy 14.
Antonio 11, everything was savage mode. The
You know
whole
what
I
I like?
like
game
I like the
was
economy of
savage.
Final Fantasy 14. Like it was easier to make money in Final Fantasy 14 than
It
it was in
was.
Final
Oh
Fantasy
hell
I,
11.
yeah.
I like
it
I
is.
like
Yeah,
the relate personally me.
The
I like the
the
relationship.
crafting was fun. Once
Yeah.
I got that shit
What I
down
like
Mhm.
pat,
best about
they
what I like
changed
Uh,
best
it three
about
times.
they
what I like
changed it
best
three
about
times.
they
FF11
changed
was
it?
like huh?
I
Damn.
went through so
What I
much
like
They're,
work
best
cha-
about
mastering the
FF11
they're
was the
crafting.
changing it
relationship you
again
built.
for this
Because
current
like most
expansion.
things you can't do on your own.
Damn.
So you needed to build relationship, like actual human beings, like you actually need to
Yeah.
be friends with. FF11 was like that. You can't like meet up with randoms. Oh, let's do this random shit. Mm-mm. You
Yeah.
basically had to meet people, talk to
Man,
them.
I could.
That kind of force you to actually be social. You
Yeah.
know, and now a lot of games now it's like let's say like that game that you play, man, with the guns. League of Legends.
Overwatch.
Right, that great game, but you play like randomly, like just with random strangers. No, you know,
Yeah.
FF11, you gotta eventually have your own crew, your own
Yo,
link shop. Otherwise,
11,
you will
man,
not get anything.
crafting an 11.
Yeah, but the social aspect of 11, because the jobs weren't balanced, that some jobs are better than others, but and you have a social aspect of the game, it created like an elitist mindset.
Well, but you were able to switch.
So
But you were able to switch jobs though. Like me, like I leveled up a few jobs just so I
yeah.
can help out people like underneath me, you know, or people that I met. Oh yeah, you know. Oh,
Mm.
I used to play a lot with Luis Oyola's brother, like Josh. Me and him, we used to do a lot.
That
Like
man was addicted.
I will switch to like my rep mage, right? You know, rep mage are good at solo,
Pure
correct?
addiction.
So I
Yeah.
switch to my
He's
rep
in
mage with my
FF14
Jonas
now
sword,
still.
and Josh would turn into his thief, and we would go freaking hunting, like basically trying to get like
Mm.
we made a lot of money doing that shit. Me and Josh used to like stay up like all night, son, like freaking from midnight to 6. He had to go to work, me too. He was, all right, bro, see you tonight at 8.
Damn. Yo,
You
I'm
know,
telling you, Final Fantasy
and,
11,
and
it
then
teaches you routines. It teaches you how to fucking, it teaches you
and then
all the things you
a
need
lot
to
of
be
a lot of
successful in
times
any business
a
in
lot
real
of time
life.
he would switch to his. If we need like more manpower, he would switch to his ninja while I go into my monk. We gotta take
Utasemi ni.
yeah, yeah.
Utasemi was so cheesy. I hated ninja tanks because it's like, yo, like you're a fucking ninja. You're not supposed to be fucking tanking.
Utu Semi. I had a level ninja for Ranger because it was like, oh, you need a
Also, the
sub
three.
ninja for Ranger.
My
I'm like,
main
oh
was
my god.
monk. My main was monk. That's like the class I got to 75 first, all the merits, and then like my second class was what was it? Ninja actually. I got ninja 75 because
Mhm.
ninjas and monks use similar gear except weapons. You know, ninjas use those little katanas.
Yeah.
And then like the third class, I freaking leveled up rep mage. It's like a freaking fighter mage, you know. So those are like my main 3 classes. And I got 75, and that's it. I ain't freaking level no other shit.
Damn.
That crap.
Nah, I got Dragoon to level
Blue
70.
Mage was fun. Darren, I remember Darren as a samurai. Him and Pagan got Blue Mage 75. They used to like
Did Blue Mage come to 14? It did, right?
Blue Mage
Yeah.
is fucking
And-
ridiculous. Dude.
Oh no, I'm around 11. My bad.
So
and
fucking
11
hard.
Blue Mage became like one of the most powerful classes.
No,
They were
you
able to-
can't.
Matt, since we
you
stopped
can't
14,
run-
they added a whole bunch of new. They added the
You
Dark
can't
Knights in there,
run
Dark Knights in there,
basic
Dancers
raids.
in there, Blue Mages in there,
You can't run basic raids.
Red
with
Are you
Mage,
talking about 11?
Red Mage is in there, FF
Mm.
14,
Talking about 11?
Yeah.
14,
14.
Samurai is in there,
Okay.
Ninjas in here.
Ninja.
And 11, after you guys left, they also.
I'll be a Dark Knight. If I go
Dark
back to any Final
Knight-
Fantasy, I'll be a Dark
Dark
Knight.
Knight's tank. Dark
Machinist.
Knight's a tank.
See, I wanted to do
Machinist,
Machinist.
Wait, a Dark Knight is a tank now? In
It's a
11, they
tank
were
in
like.
FF14.
Yeah,
That's
tank.
dope.
And
Tank.
11, they had like the weak, even though they were.
Yeah.
They had like the weakest AC.
Yo,
No,
they did mad
each-
damage. Oh
mad
my
damage,
god.
Each
yeah.
class
They took away
is-
from their own
damage,
AC.
but they were squishies.
Yeah.
each class is dedicated to us. So you have your tanks, DPS, and your mages. But then
What other
You
tank
have your
classes they
healer.
have now besides Paladin?
Paladin, Dark Knight, and Warrior, Marauder.
It's still just 3 tanks.
Okay.
Do they got?
Yes.
They ever brought ninjas or no?
Oh
They don't got
no,
ninjas?
and Gunbreaker.
Gunbreaker's a tank,
It's a
What the hell is
tank.
Gunbreaker? Never heard. Of that.
Uses gun blades.
like Squall.
Ooh.
Oh.
So you have
Oh.
4 tanks. You have 2 versions of healers. You have pure healers.
They
and you
don't-
have
they didn't bring
Scholars.
scholars in there. Scholar,
White mage.
astrologian.
Oh, they have scholars.
Yeah,
at
the
11.
the astrologian is another.
Astrologer?
Yeah, it's a new
Yeah,
one.
they use like.
What about
like
ninjas?
cards.
They don't got ninjas?
Yeah, they got ninja.
They do have ninjas. Ninjas is ninjas.
So wait, there's
is
4
special
tanks
class.
and 3 healers
Yeah.
now?
There's 4 tanks, 3 healers. There'll be a 4th healer.
They got also
In
Semini
November.
and Ichi. That's it.
A 4th healer in November. What's it called?
Sage.
Sage.
Mm.
Then you have your dancer, bard,
All the DPS.
machinist. You have your red mage, your blue mage. Blue mages you can't run basic raids with because you have to like steal spells, which is fucking ridiculous. So then
Man,
you have
they
your
have a lot of
black
classes,
mages.
Black mages. I thought they had black mages.
Yeah, black
yeah,
mage,
yeah.
red mage.
No, the new ones are
And-
red. New ones since we've played Pachordo are red mage.
Is the red mage. And then they
Red
have
Mage.
dancer. Dancer is
red mage,
your
dancer, blue
yeah.
mage,
Those
machinist.
are classes from FF. They brought those classes from FF11.
Tactics. That's some tactics.
A lot of them
Tactics,
from
and also
tactics.
11 they had dance.
11.
Dancer was pretty good because you were able to dance and heal yourself. With
Bard,
dance.
That
Bard,
was-
Bard was my main, and when I wanted
They
if I
got it, Bard.
if-
So bad.
what happened with Bard? They fucked it up now.
It's done. Ever since Dancer came in, it does everything that Bard.
Oh my god! What?
Damn. They couldn't be more
They
original.
brought Dancer in Stormblood, and they're like, "Well, we still have Bard, but like that's it. Like it's
Wow.
literally there's
Wow.
no reason for it."
Wow.
At
Because
this
my
point,
second
which-
class was gonna be machinist anyway.
Like
What's
that
a
was it.
machine?
Oh my
If
God.
you're gonna play a class that buffs parties and do damage, you just fucking play Dancer. That's it.
What's
Damn.
machinist is firearms.
That motherfucker, they added
The
this.
gun-
That
all
motherfucker
gun-
got
they-
shotgun.
Is Scholar still good?
Yes,
'cause
and
I-
scholars. I
okay.
main scholar.
Yeah, that's what I did. I main Scholar when I first played.
Summoners in
I
there
mean,
too. How many
bro.
summoners? How many summons do summoners have now? Shit.
3. You get 3.
Oh,
you get Ifrit,
really?
You get Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan.
That's
That's what you
okay.
get. Oh, and Bahamut. You get Bahamut.
Oh, you do get Bahamut
Oh, and you get
Mm.
Phoenix. You
and
get
Phoenix. Oh, so they do because
Phoenix.
when we were
Don't
playing.
you don't get Rama?
No, because when we were
No.
playing, you don't get Ramu. Because when we were
Damn.
playing, when we first started playing, it was only 3 summons that they got.
Yeah.
So now it's 5.
It's 5, and they're reworking it for
Was Shadowbringers?
November. Yeah, for Endwalker. That's their new expansion.
Oh, Shadowbringers came
That's-
out. Endwalker's coming.
That comes out in November.
They just have 4 expansions now. Jesus.
Mm. So
And this
Dark
is
Knight is
the worst
tank.
part is this. They're like, this is supposed to clue only the first chapter of that fucking MMO. I said, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Wow.
Huh?
Dark Knight is by far the most played tank class there because it's fucking godlike. Like you do good damage and still be able to mitigate damage like that. It's the best of both worlds. Like I think the best part I like about 14 is that you can't solo.
Well, they
with
do
any
them
class.
justice. FF11 Dark Knight suck.
Like you have to play with a party. You have to. Like that's
I think it was
you
like
at
the
some
worst.
point you do create a group that you run shit with. Like because doing it with randoms just doesn't do well.
Monk's still good.
No.
What?
No.
What?
Damn.
Square has
be
no
pissed.
Square has
No,
no
Darren,
fucking
But he
Darren
likes
plays
Samurai.
14.
He likes House Samurai.
Samurai's good.
Okay, he likes Samurai too.
He likes Samurai, yeah.
Square has
he
no
used to main
fucking
monk,
clue what to do with monks at this point. They have no
Yo, you know what?
Damn.
Darren's pretty good at those kind of video games, man. Like FF14.
Oh, he was
right?
he was killing it in 14.
He was like one of the out of all of us. He was like one of the best players. Like he is a prodigy when it comes to like gaming, man.
So
He taught me how to get better at that game. Then he brought me.
call you
He's like, let me
Big
take you on a field test. So he brings me to Garuda Extreme, and he's like, okay, yeah, you did get better. Okay, now Extreme Titan. I was like, I'll do that in the back of my hand.
Yo, he's a master. Not only is he a master min-max in monks in D&D, so and also in FF14. It's like, yo, he knows how to like.
Nah, you know what was really fucking me over in that game was the lag. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I mean, that game you cannot have any lag at all.
Oh yeah.
Now, since their servers are so cluttered at this point, that's the biggest problem.
Oh, it's more lag.
Because
Damn.
30% of all WoW players went to Final Fantasy.
Yep. Yeah, they did.
And since that game is an
going on
11-year-old
with
game,
WoW?
their fucking servers can't hold it.
WoW's not keeping up with being.
They don't take care of their fucking players.
And
That's
then,
what
and,
it
then,
is.
and then what's that streamer's name? Some famous streamer went on FF14, so a bunch of his followers went on there too. So.
Oh wow.
That's an added thing.
Fucking WoW lied to their players. They don't bring out updates. They give you bullshit reasons, and then they micromanage, and then they make you pay for more shit. So people are like, "Well, this isn't fucking."
Freaking, you remember Zelkova?
I do.
Man, yeah, Zelkova. He was always. I think he's still playing, from what Schwartz said. He was the one.
Yeah.
He was the one.
He was a scholar. He's the one that was like helping me in the very beginning.
He was the one that told me about this like third-party program to use to like help with the lag. And I don't even remember the name of the program, but I installed it, and I would put it on when I played FF14 on my laptop, and it worked. Like it fucking fixed my lag issue, no problem. That's how I got so much better at the game. I was like, finally, my lag is gone.
Y'all motherfuckers doing all this talking, but y'all not joining Final Fantasy 14 though. So
yeah, I can't, bro. I'm really just waiting for fucking Overwatch 2 to drop, honestly.
Yo, I think Dogma plays 14.
Dogma plays everything, nigga. Like he got days dedicated to certain games that he plays.
He's got no kids. He's got no kids, and he works at home. He could play with
when he used to live here in New York, and I used to go to his house. I kid you not, son. He had like 3 large computer screens, 3 different games simultaneously. Like,
that's nothing compared to the way he is now. I went to his house recently, the one that he lives at now in Georgia. This dude got rooms. He got one room with one big screen that's set up for like where he works at, and then next to it he got 2 smaller monitors and he games, and then that's just his office space. Then you go into the actual room with his games in it, and then his wife got a room where she games in it. Yo, this wall to wall. This like it's a dope ass house. It's dope as shit because like it's animal walls and shit like that, but in an artful way, not like just all pinned on the wall. It's
Rose ain't fucking letting me game all goddamn day.
If I'm ever around George, I'm gonna have to go visit them.
Yo, go visit him, bro.
Because he met Jai. Where did he met her online in
He met her online
in FF14, or was it somewhere else?
I don't know. I don't think it was FF14.
Nah, it was some forum anime shit, some crap like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's big into gaming too,
She
right?
is, yeah.
Yeah, she's big in the game too. I saw her room. It's
So,
like it's
so yo,
dope.
that's crazy. It's like they're both like. I thought they would game together in the same room. So she got her own room to game in.
Yeah,
And
she got her own room to game in.
yo,
Son.
shit reminds me of Sword Art Online. They be going dive into like nerve gear. Like, hey, I'll see you in
Right,
this.
for real.
Yo, for real, it is
They're
like
in real
that.
life together. So
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when you walk in there, they have like a foyer where it's like it looks like it's so beautiful, and it's like different like anime like portraits on like the wall, like painted and shit like that. It's fucking godlike. Yo. I was like, yo, this is fucking dope. It
Yeah,
doesn't
man.
look gaudy. It looks like I guess like a mature version of like the way his room used to be, with like the
Right.
figures on the wall, but just more mature. Like it's
More
cool.
mature. No, yeah, he's a grown up now. You know.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's good though. All that shit.
Mm-hmm. Nice ass crib, yo.
All right.
All right, man.
All right.
All right,
Bye, guys.
homie.
Have a good night.